Welcome, everyone, and Merry belated Christmas. In case we missed you yesterday, we're busy, as many of you were, but we're back live because it's waiver wire day for a lot of you. And if you're still in it to win it, it matters. Trust me, you can't just sit back and say, hey, let's see what happens. It's not how it works in fantasy football. If you did that from the beginning of the year, I guarantee you're not in the championship. And injuries never take a holiday, even on Christmas. There's some players they're going to be out this coming week just when you need the most. And there was a big one today that we already knew was injured, but we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, Chris, how are we looking in our 20-something leagues that we have, each of us? I think it's like maybe 15. But how are you looking heading into championship week?
Pretty good. I've got four vying for the championship. So I have three dynasty teams that either I did a punt year one startup this year or we're in full rebuild mode. Might even have four. I can't remember. I got one dynasty team. No, I got two dynasty teams going for the championship. One you and I kind of co-manage. And then the end game, going for the end game championship. Although I lost to you last year, but I'm back in the finals again this year. And then I have three. Okay, I guess I'm wrong. I have five teams because I have three redraft leagues. I got my home league. No, sorry, two redraft leagues. My home league and an end game league. I can't keep track of all of them. So four teams going for the championship right now.
That's exactly it. You asked me to have to really go back through and look. There's the one where I definitely know I'm in the championship because we played each other last week, and I took that one. And so that's the one I know is my best team. I feel like I should win, even though that exact same team was riding Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen all year long. And even despite losing them, I still feel like it's the best team I have and should win. But we'll see what happens. And then I got another one of our endgame leagues where I felt pretty strong, and then I lost to Keith, the Weather Beast, last week. So congrats, Keith. I mean, I don't feel bad about that because my team wasn't really that great anyways. James Cook and Tony Pollard definitely did not help me last week. Just put it that way. And then, the worst thing is I try not to think about it, but this one dynasty league where I felt like I did have a really, really good team, I still feel like I'm the best team, even though I barely made the playoffs. No Tyreek Hill last week. No, who else? Somebody else. Anyways, a bunch of players hurt, just let down. Derrick Henry stunk last week. So I lost. And so, of course, you know what happened, right? You know what happened this week.
Yeah.
Win off. Yeah, absolutely. Just huge. Like would definitely just roll to the finals. But oh well. That's what happens. All right. Well, whatever it is, however many leagues you're in, guys, if it's one or if it's 5 or 10 or however many you're in, you're still in it. You want to take home that championship. That's what it's all about. So we're going to answer your questions, waiver wire questions. And you might need to stream a tight end because big news today is TJ Hockenson. You know that whole thing where it's like, was a knee contusion from that hit he took?
Yeah.
Not so much. Torn ACL. He is out not just the rest of the season, but probably into the beginning of next season too.
Yeah.
So TJ Hockenson is a guy that you just didn't have to think about tight end, all season long. What are we going to do here at tight end? There's not a whole lot of great options. I feel like we answered some questions, and it's like, even on the waiver wire, who do you even consider at this point?
Yeah, this is brutal because I doubt you have anybody on your bench. I doubt there's anybody really good on the waiver wire. I mean, Tucker Kraft, maybe Cade Otton. Maybe Gerald Everett. I mean, he gets the Broncos this week. I don't know, but this is terrible championship week. TJ Hockenson. And look, it's. I know there are people who are going to say he can come back from He can do it. He can do it next year. He can come back from ACL. It's sadly probably going to be a mostly lost year for him next year too, especially with it being this late in the season. So yeah, just a brutal blow for TJ Hockenson for sure.
Yeah, and it's really nobody. They got Josh Oliver's the backup there in Minnesota.
Yeah,
I'm not going to pick up Josh Oliver. Jordan Addison's out. I will say this, not that you need to necessarily pick him up or start him, but if you need somebody, KJ Osborne had a nice game last week, could have another big game because just need to throw it to somebody else besides Justin Jefferson. So he's a guy that might definitely benefit. I will say the tight end that I recommended on the video and the guy that I should be mostly available and could help you, I think, is Chiga Konkwu. This guy had a nice game last week. Good matchup this week. Mostly available. I think right now in Sleeper, let me see. 28% rostered. Yeah, he's pretty much available in most leagues. Of course, not our leagues, not our in-game leagues we're in.
No.
But yeah, that's a big loss there. And only other big news today, if you can call it big, for the Jets, Zach Wilson will be out for Thursday night, so plan accordingly. I don't know if that really means anything. Does this matter? It's in Cleveland, I believe, against the Browns, the number one defense. I honestly want to ask Garrett Wilson, is he startable in this matchup?
I don't know. I mean, he had 15 targets last week. He didn't have he had like 15 PPR points. Yeah, on the road. Washington. I mean, yeah, exactly. That was Washington. I get it. On the road against the Browns. I mean, the big one, like Garrett Wilson, okay, whatever. Most people are like, whatever. The big one is Breece Hall. Because if you started Breece Hall last week, you're still playing this week. But do we get last week's Breece Hall, or do we get like the 5 weeks before that Breece Hall, who was absolutely atrocious, or 4 weeks or whatever it was? Because now on the road against the Browns, short week, Breece Hall is going to be one of the toughest start-sit decisions of the week. 100% is going to be Breece Hall. Easily going to be the toughest one for me.
Because what you're basically counting on, hoping for, is a lot of what last week was, not just running, but getting those dump-offs, right? Getting those receptions, making some gains as a pass catcher. Trevor Siemian, will dump it off to him. How effective will those dump-offs be against Cleveland? So this is a tricky thing. Yeah, Breece Hall is going to be one of the toughest, and I said this the other days. I'm glad this game is on Thursday, so we don't have to agonize over whether to start him over the weekend. I can't say. It really comes down to who else you got. But that's that. So you definitely might need a replacement if you were riding Hawk all year, going to look for tight ends. Some of you still looking for a quarterback. But let's see what you got for us. We're going to answer your start-sit questions like we always do, and especially waiver wire questions. First, reminder, Underdog is the place to go for all your fantasy and pick'ems, drafts, not just NFL. I know the season, sadly, coming to an end soon, the regular season. Guess what? They're going to have playoff pick'ems. They're going to have playoff drafts. They already have playoff best ball drafts. We're going to get into some of those as well. We still do our weekly drafts, and we will, in just a bit, go over last week's results and give some props to the winner of our Week 16 Endgame Underdog draft that we did for that slate. But if you haven't tried it, you don't know what this is all about, it's still a good time to do it. Use our code ENDGAME because that gets you the deposit match that you see right there, but also the pick 'em for this week. It's Dak Prescott on Saturday, just getting 1 yard. That's it. Take the higher. You get that free pick. Combine it with any other pick, and you can win your very first entry on Underdog. So we will go over the results for that draft in a bit, but we do want to get to some questions first. We have some people lined up here for a while. Also, big, huge shout out to everyone who's still fighting because you're still in it. That means you're doing the thing, you're doing it right, grinding, not just blindly setting lineups, not just going with your gut 100% of the time, not just doing, hey, let me start my studs every single week. That's not how it works. All right, you guys are doing what you need to do to earn the victory. So shout out to all of you. Grayson James going for back-to-back ships in the home league. There you go. And our guy Spearsy made it to the championship. Very nice.
Nice.
All right, that's what we're looking for. Let's do some of these questions first. These guys were first. So, Grayson, Baker, Carr, or Stroud?
I think I got to go Stroud if he plays. It's at home against the Titans. He's got Nico back. He's got Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz. I think if Stroud plays, Stroud is the one I want.
I mentioned Carr as the streamer that I like best this week, but that's assuming you don't already have a guy, in place. Stroud, I know he hasn't been playing, but he's still the best option here. And the matchup is still the best for him. Got to say, right? Tennessee's pass defense. Yeah. And then Nico's good. I really like Nico this week. So I think in this case it's Stroud. But both the other two are actually not bad choices, but I think it's got to be Stroud. And then Spearsy, talking tight end here. Yeah, the move thing, if it didn't happen last week against the Bengals, I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen this week. How could Mason Rudolph just not even look at him at all? Like, at all?
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Not even a single time. I think Darnell Washington got like his 5th catch of the year, but Freiermuth didn't get one.
It's almost like it's personal.
Yeah, you can't play Freiermuth. You cannot play Freiermuth. I was very wrong on Freiermuth last week. I was like, oh, great matchup. He can get nah.
Well, it should have been a good Freiermuth. That's the thing with different quarterbacks. You don't know. You don't know who he like. For some reason, he decided he just wanted to go to George Pickens a lot. Mitch Trubisky seems to just not like George Pickens. Mason Rudolph tends to have a problem with Pat Freiermuth. Now we know. And by the way, that was also, I guess, this is news. Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter, right, for Week 17. They said that.
Well, okay. Mike Tomlin said right now he's slated to be the starter, but they're going to see how Kenny Pickett progresses throughout the week. And then the Steelers beat writers were like quoting Mike Tomlin, and then guys like Rappaport and Pelissero were like, Mike Tomlin has announced Mason Rudolph the starter. He didn't say that. He said, if the Steelers beat writers said, yeah, as of right now, Mason Rudolph is the starter. But they're going to see how Kenny Pickett progresses. But he didn't say that means Kenny Pickett, if he's healthy enough, will start. He kind of still left it open. I'm feeling like it'll probably be Mason Rudolph, though.
Probably, but yeah, I guess that's not definitive if Pickett, is good to go. They're going to talk about how he feels with his mobility and all this. I don't think that's really the issue. But anyways, either way, it's not like Kenny Pickett coming back is going to make you want to start Freiermuth, I don't think, right?
No.
Okay, so he's got Kraft. Is there another streaming option you like better? We already talked about some. Any of those guys, you would go over Kraft or just go Kraft?
I'd probably just go Kraft, honestly. I mean, this Packers receiving group, they're all hurt. So I might just go Kraft.
Yeah, Kraft is a good choice here. The only one, like I said, I kind of like Chig, but I don't know if I like him better than Kraft. So just go Kraft, you'll be fine. I thought he would have a better game last week, but I think Kraft is fine. All right, let's get to Jay. Got the super chat here, 1364. Standard flex. Have Addison, Allen, London, Warren. Really like players recommended in your waiver wire show too, who are all available best options. So looking for a flex. I would love to say it would be Allen, but we don't know if he's going to play. Addison may not play. London, I hate this week.
I think right now, if Keenan Allen plays, he's my choice pretty easily here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of these guys, Jaylen Warren, London, what a letdown last week for London. And now he gets a tough matchup on the road. Addison not healthy. I mean, look, Addison might be interesting if he plays with Hockenson out because he gets the Packers. So he might be my number 2 if he even plays, of course.
Yeah, I would say that Allen, of course, is the pick here. If not, Addison. If Addison is out, maybe go with KJ Osborne. This is a guy who could make a big play, maybe score a touchdown. The other guy that you talked about with the waiver wire recommendations, Demarcus Robinson. Look, 4 straight games, he scored a touchdown. You're in a standard league. You're looking for touchdown upside. You can't get much more touchdown upside than a guy who's been scoring every game. And the Rams going against the Giants, I believe, the Giants.
Yep.
So I would say that because I really don't want to play London. Not just because he let me down last week, but it's a terrible spot for him. And Taylor Heineke just doesn't seem to throw it to London that much.
No.
I wonder why he's not a starter in the NFL on a regular basis. Eric Castellanos. Let's rank Murray, Flacco, Carr. So he's got doubts about all of them, which makes sense. Kyler, yeah, receivers are limited. Flacco gets the Jets. Carr is just hard to trust.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have doubts about all these guys this week, so I'm not sure I can erase your doubts because I also have doubts. But think I would still go Flacco number 1. Look, let's not forget Flacco revenge game this week. Jets willingly chose Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian over Joe Flacco this year. And he is at home at least. And for whatever reason, it's like a requirement. Like somehow it's a requirement that if you are a football team and you start Joe Flacco, you have to throw the ball at an insanely high rate. Like it doesn't matter what you're good at. You have to just chuck it. Like that's a rule with Joe Flacco, apparently. Because it was last year with the Jets when he played. It's now with the Browns. Are just chucking it like for the Browns are easily the pass heaviest team since Joe Flacco has taken over of any team. It's crazy. So even though it is the Jets, he is at home and he is chucking it and he's got weapons. So I think I still got to go Flacco 1. I'm going to go Murray 2. Murray actually wasn't bad last week in a tough spot. So, and he's running a little bit. So I'm going to go Murray 2 and then Carr 3.
Yeah, well, it's just funny just thinking about that. I can imagine if you're a Jet fan and you're looking at Joe Flacco, what he's doing with Cleveland, and then you're looking at what you got, you're like, we had that guy. We could have had that guy.
Exactly. But could have had that guy all year.
I don't know why. You got Trevor Siemian instead. But anyways, yeah, I think, again, Carr, I said this on the waiver video, good streamer if you don't have somebody already in place. But I did say, if you already picked up Flacco last week, or if you happen to have picked up Stafford a couple weeks ago and people were off of him, don't worry about it. I would still go Flacco over Carr. The question is Kyler or Flacco really is his choice here. You know, we say with Kyler is the rushing upside. They've been running a whole lot lately, but he gets the Eagles. This is actually a good spot for him, isn't it? Because the Eagles' pass defense has been bad, but they were a little bit better last week. So I think you can go Flacco and it's fine. Ernesto Cavazos. Happy holidays. All right, looking for his second championship in a row. There you go. 2 running backs, 2 receivers in a flex. Gibbs, Swift, Jacobs, if he plays. Achan, Edwards, and then Tyreek, CD, DJ, Ridley, and Flowers.
Well, I think I just go Gibbs and Swift at running back, although I do like Jacobs this week if he plays. I think I just go Gibbs and Swift. Wide receiver, you're going Tyreek and CD no matter what. Yeah. And honestly, I might go Jacobs if he plays at the flex. I mean, it's a great matchup for him this week. If he doesn't play, I think I'm going Flowers. I know it's hard to bench DJ Moore, but he's going to be less than 100% this week. It's a tough matchup against Atlanta. I think I might just go Flowers. So I'm going to go Gibbs, Swift, Tyreek, CD, and then Jacobs would be my number 1 choice. Flowers would be my number 2.
Yeah, normally I would say with DJ Moore, you just want to play him. But you saw what happened last week. Even though he played, like, oh, he didn't leave the game. He should have left the game. He was only out there because they wanted to use him as decoy, and he didn't even get targeted because he wasn't right. So you got to worry about him this week, and that's the problem. So with Ridley and Flowers, it's okay to just sit DJ Moore. Ridley again. Again, like, do we trust Trevor Lawrence, even though he, really did come through with a big game last week, but Trevor Lawrence, again, is banged up. And I just don't, like, in the finals, are we really doing this? No, we don't have to worry about it because you guys say Flowers just had a big game against the Niners. So I guess just go Flowers here. And then I think you have to play Gibbs. The way he's been playing, you have to play Gibbs. I like Swift a lot this week. So Jacobs is the risky one, right? Jacobs, if he's going to be a full go, they're going to give him full run. It's a great spot. Any thought, maybe, even if Jacobs is active, after last week with Zamir White looking so good, that Zamir White earns at least like a little bit of, like maybe not 1B, but like a 1D or something.
No, I don't think so.
Like he'll get like 2 carries and that's it.
Yeah. I think one thing we see, like Antonio Pierce and Gift Smith, these interim coaches, they're not these these football savants, right? Like these football offensive geniuses who think they're so smart, like Arthur Smith and Brandon Staley. They just give their best players the ball. They're just like, here, you're our best player. Just take the ball. Just you just get the ball over and over. You get the ball. We're just gonna run it over and over with you. You're our best player. That's our game plan, right? You just get these very simplified, like, oh, you're our best player. Here, have the ball. Game plans. You don't get these like, maybe the defense won't be expecting 60-year-old Cordero Patterson at the goal line with Bijan as the lead blocker. The defense will never expect this, right? If Arthur Smith got fired right now, the interim head coach would give like Bijan Robinson 25 carries. Be like, I don't know. I'm just going to give Bijan the ball 25 times. He's our best guy. So, I don't know. I feel like if Jacobs plays, Antonio Pierce is going to give him the ball 25 times.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce has pretty much already professed his love for Josh Jacobs, so that's probably what can happen. At least I'm glad to see Zamir have a big game. Vindicated in my irrational love for him. He just needs a shot. Just needs a shot. Come on, somebody give Zamir the job. All right, let's pull. 10 teams, Superflex. Mahomes, Goff, Flacco. We need to.
Mahomes and Flacco. I can't believe I'm saying yes to Flacco so much, but Goff on the road against Dallas. I mean, how good can we feel about Goff this week?
Yeah.
I know Mahomes coming off a terrible game. You probably don't feel good about Mahomes either, but he's at home. Who are they playing again? It's not a tough spot. Cincinnati, not a good secondary, not a great defense. Mason Rudolph just carved Cincinnati up. I'm going to go Mahomes and Flacco.
Yeah, I think Goff is the riskiest here. And then Flex, Cook, Zeke, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Noah Brown, Curtis Samuel, or Deontay Johnson. What, just one?
Just flex on one of these guys. I think it's still got to be James Cook. Zeke, liked him last week against Denver. I mean, this week, not as good of a spot. Reed is okay, I guess, if he even plays.
Yeah,
we'll see. Every week, the dude's getting banged up. Christian Watson, I'm not risking it. No, Brown's all right if Stroud plays. Curtis Samuel, no. Deontay, no. I still think I got to put James Cook ahead of these guys. I know he let down last week, but I don't know. He still got 20 carries. I think I'm still going to go James Cook over these guys.
Right. He should bounce back. I think Cook is still the best pick. I might say Reed if he plays and if Watson and Wicks don't play, but let's forget the if. Just go Cook. All right, Moises. Happy holidays. Championship week. Waiver help. Okay, so got Mostert, Gibbs, Cook, Allen, Chase, Nico, and Njoku. 10-team PPR on the bench is a bunch of guys. Okay, so he's asking who to pick up or anybody. Osborne, Robinson, Gus. If that's Watson, you can just forget Watson. Samuel, Judy. Would you pick up any of those guys knowing you have these guys?
Yeah, I mean, you can drop Deontay Johnson. You could probably drop Wicks. But really what it would come down for me is what does my opponent need this week? Like, what do I think because you're not going to start any of those guys, right? I mean, like maybe
if Keenan Allen doesn't play and Chase doesn't play, you might need to start two of those guys.
That's true. I mean, maybe you will start Osborne. Who are the choices again? Osborne,
DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe pick up Osborne and Robinson in case they don't play.
Yeah.
In case and drop Deontay and Wicks. Wicks, another guy. Scores a touchdown, and then that's it. He's out. Chest injury, out. It's like, geez, man. What is going on with the Packers wide receivers over there? What are they doing over there?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, maybe drop Deontay and Wicks and pick up Osborne and DeMarcus Robinson in case you need him. Because those are probably the only guys. Like, you're not benching Mostert. You're not benching Gibbs. You're still not benching James Cook. over any of these running backs. So yeah, I would drop Deontay and Wicks and pick up Osborne and Robinson in case you need them.
Agree, and let's hope you don't need both of them. Allen and Chase. Let's see what happens.
Let's hope you don't need either of them, honestly. Let's hope these guys are back.
Yeah. All right, what's up, Sal? Happy holidays. Got Lamar, C.D. Lockett, Rashad White, Jacobs, and Zamir, Kelsey, Eckler, Reed, and Wicks. On the benches, Ford, Spears, Hollywood. If I pick up Osborne or D-Rob, could either of them start? Would you put one? We might have to put one of them over the Packers right now, which is you don't know if they're going to play.
Yeah, exactly. Not over CD, obviously. Not over Lockett. John White, Jacobs, Kelsey. Yeah, I mean, look. Reed and Wicks could be out this week, so you might need them.
So I think
we don't even know if Hollywood's playing. Hollywood might be out this week. Who knows?
Well, I think you said this last week is you might as well just drop Hollywood. Are you really going to trust Hollywood this week anyways? Are you really going to put him in your lineup and hope he makes it through? And yeah, I mean, I'd say you could drop Hollywood. You could pick up both those guys. Here's the question is, who do you like better between Osborne or Demarcus Robinson if you do have to start one this week?
I think right now I got to go Osborne because we know Hockenson's out for sure. Addison could be out. Robinson's still the number 3 guy there behind Kupp and Puka. So if I had to choose, I'd go Osborne.
Agree. And if Addison is out too, big boost for Osborne because that team is just throwing it a ton. I think the Packers-Vikings game could feature a lot of offense. Remember, these are two teams fighting to stay in the playoff race. Divisional game, just like Saints-Bucks. What is up, Bill? The Rico guy.
What's up?
Formerly known as the Easton Stick guy. Week 17, here's the lineup for championship week. Stafford, Brees, Gibbs, Lamb, Debo, Ferguson, Achane, and Eckler. Question is, would you take a chance with Mullins? No.
Over Stafford. You got a guy like Stafford, just play Stafford. Way safer. Plenty of upside this week. Just play Stafford.
No. If you have Stafford, just don't even question it. Be thankful you have Stafford. Don't sweat it. You got to start Stafford. All right, we're assess with the defense question. Who we like here? Raiders, Rams, Jets, Jaguars, Texans, and Falcons. Let's break out the schedule and see here. Raiders get the Colts on the road. Rams get the Giants. That seems pretty good. Yeah. Jets get the Browns in Cleveland. I don't think so. Jags get the Panthers. Although I will say, Bryce Young not throwing an interception 3 straight games. The Texans get the Titans, and the Falcons get the Bears on the road.
I might go Texans. They've been really good lately, and they're at home. I like the Rams too, but they're on the road against the Giants. I mean, they're okay too. Rams aren't bad. But I think the Texans have a little bit more upside against either Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill. I mean, come on. What are the Titans going to do here? And they're at home. So I might do Texans 1, Rams 2.
Yeah, the best real-life defense here is the Jets, but it's not a good spot for them against Slinging Joe Cool Flacco, whatever nickname. He deserves a new nickname because it's a reinvented version of Joe Flacco. Jaguars, man, they've just been struggling, just period. The Raiders is the only kind of defense I would say, like, if they're playing the Chargers, yeah, sure, you can play them, but not this week. So
Raiders defense, I mean, look, they came through against the Chiefs. They've been pretty good, but
that's true. They did limit the Chiefs. That is true. But still, I would feel much better about the Rams or the Texans. And we don't know, by the way, has it been said, is Tyrod Taylor going to start for the Giants, or is it Tommy DeVito? I assume Taylor.
I haven't said yet, but I mean, it's got to be Tyrod Taylor, right? Like,
as much as we all love the DeVito story, remember, he's only playing because the first 2 guys were hurt. That's the only reason they even had to play him. Tyrod Taylor was on IR. Like, he wasn't an option. I think Taylor gives them the best chance to win. And despite what people think about draft stock and, and giving DeVito the chance, like, no, the coach wants to win the game. Like, he doesn't
Sure.
care about that stuff. He wants to win, keep his job. All right. Some shout outs here to MC, who managed to survive despite benching Amari Cooper. All right.
Amari Cooper is going to be another tough one this week. Right at home against Sauce Gardner after he just dropped 50 fantasy points and carried you into the championship. It's like,
well, there you go. Does he dare to bench him for a second straight week?
I mean, it depends who you're benching him for, right? It depends who you're sitting for. Like, I liked Cooper last week. I didn't think Cooper was going to do what he did, obviously. But there are many times where I said, yeah, you should flex Cooper in this PPR league. I think he's in a good spot. But this week, it's like, I don't know. Like, Sauce Gardner, the Jets. Not to mention, like, look, let's be real. How many times have we seen a guy, have like a 50-point fantasy game or a 40-point fantasy game and then do it again? I think 0 times. I think I could say 0. I don't think I could think of a single case where a guy has had like a huge 50-point fantasy game and then went out the next week and did it again. Usually the opposite happens, right? It's like, oh, this week they only scored 10.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you go back and look, which I'm not spent the time to do, guys who have monster games like that, it's usually a big letdown the next week. So honestly, MC, it comes down to who would you start over.
Right. So, and I'm not saying that should be your process. Your process shouldn't be like, well, he went off last week, so he's going to bust this week. That shouldn't be your process. I'm just saying, like, it's not like he's playing, the Commanders now this week, and it's like, yeah, roll with him again. It's like now he's literally getting the toughest secondary in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, it's really kind of ironic. Like, Brees and Amari Cooper both were like the biggest scorers last week, 2 of the most surprising players of fantasy, and now they both get the toughest match. They both get the toughest matchup this week, and it's like, what do you do with them now? Fantasy football gods have a cruel sense of humor.
Yeah, they do, and not just a tough matchup, but literally the toughest possible matchup, and it's on the road. Yeah. So we'll see. Just say that the hardest thing to do when you're making decisions like this is to not overemphasize what just happened last week.
Yeah.
Because it should play a part in your process, but whether a guy completely busts or goes off, you don't want to weigh that too heavily. You still look at all the things objectively as possible. But anyways, BC Gamer Kid, some good news also, saying Deshaun Elliott won him his week by stopping Pollard at the 1.
Right. Tony Pollard, that like brutal that he didn't score on that. Just absolute, just a perfect, like, just sums up his season perfectly, right? Just nothing but underwhelming and disappointment. And then he gets the easy, like, as soon as Dak pitched that ball, I was like, oh, there's a touchdown for Tony Pollard. Like, and then for some reason, instead of just sprinting out to the pylon and just walking into the end zone, he cuts it back up. And it's the perfect summary for Tony Pollard's entire season.
Well, what I'll think too is the Cowboys, got what they deserved in the very beginning of that game. Remember that first drive? They were going down to score, and then they, for some reason, again gave the ball to this fullback and like, let's get him the touchdown. And then what did he do? He fumbled it.
Well, that was the very next play. That's the irony of it. Like, not only did Tony Pollard, like, doing whatever he did inexplicably not get Tony Pollard a touchdown that he should have gotten all his fantasy managers, but on the very next play, they fumbled in a game where they lost on a last-second field goal. Like, that was a huge. Like, Tony Pollard did not get ripped enough by Dallas media for potentially costing them the game, honestly, on that. Because it just, like, I could pull up the picture, and it's like, you can't even believe that Tony Pollard didn't score. Like, any other running back just runs to the pylon and walks into the end zone. Just walks in. But he decided to cut it up, and then the guy made a great play. But anyways, this is way too much time on Tony Pollard, who's been a big week for us this year.
All right. Let's talk about Tony Pollard some more, though. Because Alyssa, Dolphin Cloud, in the championship, beat baby brother. I've got to feel good because I remember she said that he beats him at everything. Beats her at everything. Right. Should I pick up Aaron Jones and CEH over Pollard and Zeke?
I think so. I mean, CEH we're not sure about yet, right? Because Like Aaron Jones, you gotta like this week. You gotta like Aaron Jones this week. I don't like Pollard this week, and it has nothing to do with his terrible effort and decision making on that touchdown. It's just not a good spot for him, and he hasn't even been good.
Right.
I would like CEH, but what if Pacheco plays? Like, remember, he's in the concussion protocol. We don't know yet. It's not like he, tore his knee or something. So, but I would definitely pick up Aaron Jones and CEH if you can.
Yeah, you definitely need to pick up Aaron Jones. Even though it's not the Panthers this week, he should still get a ton of usage. So, yeah, definitely pick up Aaron Jones, and I would play him over either Pollard or Zeke. CEH, I'm not as excited about, but I still think he might be playable over Zeke. But, again, if Pacheco plays, yeah, so I don't know. Can you wait on CEH? But it's a championship. How many people should be bidding for CEH this week anyways, right? Shouldn't be anybody. Two. If you think your opponent needs a running back, then I guess try to pick him up. But I don't know if we want to drop. Do you want to drop? And Zeke's tricky
because what if Pacheco plays?
Yeah, but what if Ramondre plays?
Well, then you could drop Zeke, of course.
Yeah.
But we don't know yet.
No, we don't know. Definitely try to pick up Aaron Jones. And then if you can drop somebody else who's not a running back for CEH, do it. The figure report, is it worth picking up Robinson if you already got Rice Ridley Flowers?
Probably not.
Probably
not.
So.
Like, those guys? I don't think I'm starting DeMarcus Robinson over those guys.
Yeah, not over those guys. Ridley's risky, but yeah, I think you're fine. All right, ante up in the ship, but lost Hawk. So out of these guys, Kraft, Johnson, Waller, Henry, or Oliver, you like? Let's go Kraft.
Yeah, probably just Kraft. Henry might be number 2 choice, but we don't even know if he's playing. So go Kraft. Just go Kraft.
Yeah. I would say Henry, but risky. Again, a guy, coming off an injury. The Patriots get the Bills. It's look okay. Not a great matchup. I will say this. Brought me a very small amount of joy that I told you this in one league where I did lose last week. It wasn't in the playoffs, so I was a consolation bracket, and I had Hunter Henry. I dropped him to pick up my Gesicki in the consolation bracket, and he scored a touchdown. So there you go. I played my Gesicki last week, and he scored. I don't know why, but that brings me pleasure. TP, Flacco or Fields?
I think I still got to go Fields over Flacco. Again, we got to remember Flacco is playing the Jets. Granted, he's at home, but it's not. And look, it's not a great matchup for Fields against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense has actually been good. For as bad as the offense has been and as inconsistent as it has been, Arthur Smith doesn't control the defense, and the defense has actually been good. But Fields can run. I mean, he almost had 100 yards rushing last week. Like, he can give you 100 yards rushing on any given week. So I still got to go Fields over Flacco.
Yeah, I think the only way I would even consider Flacco over Fields is if maybe DJ Moore is just completely out and Cole Kmet is completely out, which is possible. Both guys got hurt. If both those guys are gone, then yeah, I worry enough about Fields that I would sit him. But as long as he has at least one, I think you still got to go with Fields just because of that rushing upside. There's a tricky question, which maybe there's no answer to. Hinted, Josh, is Diggs worth starting?
I'm still starting him this week. I mean, but granted, it's my home league, and I'm not even like joking when I say he's my worst player. Like, I have Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Jonathan Taylor, David Njoku, and then Stefon Diggs. Like, that's literally my entire team. So I'm still starting to Stefon Diggs, but he's my worst player. If there's a saving grace for Diggs this week, or if there's a way to talk yourself into Diggs this week, it's that the Patriots play man almost half the time. They're one of the few NFL defenses that play man that much. He usually tears up man defenses. There you go. It's the best I can do.
Well, the thing is, when you say is he worth starting, the question is kind of like with Amari Cooper. Who are you going to put instead of him? That's what matters. So I hate, to use this kind of logic, but we talk about regression all the time, and it happens when a player who's so good, like Diggs, in still a good offense, and Josh Allen is playing well. It's not like he's the problem. It's gonna happen, right? As soon as we are off of Diggs, as soon as okay, that's it. He's gonna go off for a big game. So you can't guarantee it's gonna be this week, and maybe it doesn't happen, but I still would find it too hard to sit Stefon Diggs. So it really depends.
You know who he kind of feels like right now? Mike Evans 2021, 2022.
Mike
Evans last year?
I remember very, very well saying to sit Mike Evans. You can't play Mike Evans. He's a nothing. He's a nothing for weeks. And then he had like a record-setting performance in week 17. So do you want that? You want to take that chance? Go ahead. I'm not. I learned.
I'm taking the chance with Diggs. If he bombs, oh well.
Yeah.
Like who am I? Like, am I going to put like KJ Osborne in over Diggs? Like, no.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like KJ Osborne, no, there's no way. There's no way. DeAndre Hopkins, no.
No.
Adam some THM. Started 0-4, made it to the Super Bowl with our help. All right, well, let's get the W here. Should I roll Packers defense or Rams?
Packers play the Vikings. Is that right?
Packers play Vikings, and Nick Mullins is very turnover happy. Rams get the Giants, who are very sack happy.
Yeah, I feel like the Rams are a little bit safer. Like, sure, Nick Mullins will turn it over, no doubt about it. Yeah, but he can also throw 400 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Packers defense in
like
real life has been really bad.
Safer here.
Right? Packers real life, their defense, they just let Bryce
Not
Young
very good.
go 300 yards.
They just gave up 30 points to the Panthers.
Right.
Yeah, maybe just got to go Rams.
I think I think if I had a defense against the Vikings that I felt better about, because Nick Mullins, you saw turnover machine, and now without Hawk and maybe without Addison, but yeah, the Packers defense is just not good. It's just not. So, and then he said also, who should get Wilkes?
Steve Wilkes? The DC of San Fran?
That's the only thing I can think of. Like, if he's going to go back to being head coach. Didn't he try to be a head coach and it didn't work very well?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure he'll try again for sure. But I mean, the 49ers aren't going to get rid of him, right? It's going to be either walks. Are they over him, or are they like, no, you're no good?
I don't know.
Are they blaming the defense for that loss last night, even though their quarterback threw 4 interceptions?
Yeah, I don't think he can be the scapegoat there. We didn't even talk Brock Purdy yet, but let's save that for another time. Graham McLaren. 18 PPR playing for third. 2 receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, and 2 flex. Got JT, Jacobs, Pacheco, and Mostert. That's an 18 league. St. Brown, Adams, Metcalf, Pittman, Flowers, then Goddard, Ferguson.
All right, well, I'm going JT and Mostert at running back. St. Brown and Pittman at wide receiver if he plays. Devontae Adams. What do we do with Devontae Adams? See, this is the thing. Antonio Pierce is like, Aiden O'Connell sucks. We're just going to run the ball. We're not even going to throw it. We're just going to run it and run it and run it and run it. Like, what do we do with Adams this week? Like, do I start Metcalf over Adams? Man.
Could even make a case to start Flowers. Look at how good Flowers did against the Niners.
I know, but I don't love Flowers this week. That was just one of those games where just the Ravens everything went the Ravens' way last night, right? Not taking anything away from the Ravens, but I mean they just dominated that game.
Yeah. The offense was helped out by the defense getting all those turnovers.
Exactly.
They had the ball over and over again.
Exactly. They scored like 2 touchdowns in 18 seconds or something. It was like, yeah. JT and Mostert, St. Brown and Pittman if he plays. Otherwise, I don't know. I might just go Metcalf. It's a good matchup for Metcalf this week. He's got Geno. I might go Metcalf. Two flexes. I think Jacobs has to be one of the flexes if he plays again. Going to get all the touches. Great matchup this week for him against the Colts. Maybe Flowers. Maybe Flowers the other flex.
Yeah, I don't think you have to risk Adams with this group. I think Goddard or Ferguson.
Man. Goddard's safer, but we don't want safe in an 8-team, right? Ferguson at home. At home this week against the Lions? At home against the Lions?
It is the
I
Lions.
gamble on Ferguson's upside.
Yeah, Lions are one of the worst against tight ends. Yeah, just go Ferguson. All right, you win, I quit. That's what it says. PPR, 2 running backs and flex. Pittman, Connor, Jones, Monty, Mostert.
All right, 2 running backs are going to be Mostert. I think I'm going to go Aaron Jones. He looked pretty good last week. He's got another good matchup. I mean, the Vikings have been good against the run, but I feel like they're going to need Aaron Jones in the passing game. He looks healthy. I'm going to go Aaron Jones and Mostert. Oh, Connor's interesting too. I'm going to flex Pittman for sure if he plays. If Pittman doesn't play, I might flex Connor. Honestly.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Monty seems always like a solid pick, but this time they're going on the road to Dallas. It's not as good of a spot. And you got to like Jones. So Mostert, Jones, Pittman would be mine. And like you said, if Pittman doesn't play, I'm okay with Connor. Connor seems pretty solid. What about Abimanu? Welcome back. Made it to the finals. Very nice. It's a 10-team league, PPR. All right, week 17 and 18.
All right.
Goddard, likely, Komet, or Henry.
I'll say sure. If Komet plays and he's good to go, like it's not one of these things where he didn't practice all week, then I'll go Komet. But if not, I'm going to go Goddard.
Yeah, I'd like to say Komet. You're going to have to watch and see the report there. Yeah, it's funny. Likely is one of those guys where said no to a lot this week. And, there's people like, how can you sit Likely? How can you say, there was one comment, I think it was, how can you say it's a bad matchup against the Niners when, so and such tight end the week before just went off or something like that? It was a bad matchup. Like, he didn't score and he was okay, but still, like, just doesn't happen. The same thing doesn't happen every week.
One thing I've noticed, and I used to be this way too, but I think now playing in like so many leagues, I don't have I still have my guys that I root for, but I try to be a little unbiased towards them if I can. But I used to feel like when I just had my one home league, everybody on my team was the best player in football. Everybody on my team was the best player in football. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just get attached to these guys. We just do, right? We do. And I can tell by the comments sometimes that people just get attached to these guys because they have them. It's like, okay, that's fine. But, you and I, we play in like a bunch of leagues now. And, yeah, we still have our guys. We still have players we like, of course. But we try to go more unbiased. So, yeah, it wasn't a great spot for Likely. He did okay. But it's not a good spot for him this week either.
Yeah, he did okay, but yeah, that was just logic. I looked up. It was Trey McBride the week before. They're like, Trey McBride just shredded this Niners defense. Like, how can you say Likely is not used the same way as Trey McBride? No. It's a little different offense. They have different ways. Anyways, Likely is fine, but Komet has more upside, and I think I would prefer Goddard too. So I would say Komet if he plays, if not Goddard. Now, I'm glad you asked this, Kyle, who happens to be a Dolphins fan. I think I'll be honest. I tried nowadays. I think I am a realistic Dolphins fan. I honestly think that game was a little bit more about Dallas than about Miami. It was more about Dallas not being as good against tougher teams, especially on the road, about Dallas not executing in the red zone, like we just talked about with Pollard. So, props to the Miami defense for, limiting them. But I do think that there's a lot of issues still with the Dolphins, that they're going to be a playoff team, but they're not going to be a Super Bowl team. They're just not. And I don't think it's necessarily about the talent. I just don't know if they have what it takes to beat a team like Baltimore. So, anyways, it was a good win, but I don't think it changes too much in the big picture. I'll just say that. Nice. Look at this. Okay, around the fur, our guys made the championship as the 5 seed.
Nice.
And then Corey, first year playing, made it to the
Nice
championship.
job, Corey. Nice job.
Vinny, our guy Vinny. Big thank you, playing in the championship as well. Vinny plays in a tough league. I think, isn't it like a 16-team league or something?
Yeah.
He's in a tough one. All right. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep going. Shaddy Huda making the finals this week. Olave or Pickens at the flex.
Olave. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is where you gotta be careful about chasing last week's game. Like, look, Pickens. Okay, he did the thing. Pickens had 4 targets, right? 4 targets, 5 targets, 3 catches, 4 catches. What did he have?
I don't remember. Let me see. He had
4 catches for 195 yards. Like a friend of mine who has Pickens, and he started Rashee Rice over him, which I would have too. So even he said to me, he's like, "Yeah, the guy had 4. It could have easily gone the other way. He could have easily had 1 catch for 10 yards." Because he's still, it wasn't like he got 50, it wasn't like Amari Cooper where he got like 15 targets, or even Chris Olave who had 13 targets. Like, yeah, he had 2 huge touchdowns. He had 1 huge touchdown and then 1 big touchdown. This is the NFL. The defense gets paid a lot of money to stop the offense. Like, banking on that again is just very risky. Olave is in a smash spot this week. He's been nothing but great this year. I'm going Olave.
And I'll just say both offensively and defensively, it looks like the Bengals just went into that game unprepared. They just weren't ready. They got punched in the mouth early by the Steelers, and they just didn't know how to respond. And that was both Browning throwing the picks and not knowing how to read that defense. So, again, this is where a coach like Mike Tomlin, people, kind of dismiss him because they haven't won a Super Bowl lately, but he knows what he's doing. And they outcoached him and they outplayed him. They weren't ready for George Pickens maybe to catch a deep ball, and he did. It's Olave. It's definitely Olave here. All right, and around the fur is asking here. He says his weakness is Walker only has Warren and Spears. Yeah, he just go.
Yeah, but Walker, you can finally feel good about him this week against the Steelers. At home against the Steelers, you should feel pretty good about Kenneth Walker this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about Walker. And if that's your worst player, that's why you're in the championship.
Yeah.
And then this, you got to feel good about. Kevin.
Nice.
Made the championship in all 3 leagues.
Well done.
Let's get 3 championships. Take them all home.
Yeah.
Jeremy Weitendorf in the finals. Right, 2 running backs, a receiver, 2 flex. Swift, Eckler, JT, Connor, Bijan. Olave, Pittman, and Cooper. All right. And then QB, you got to rank these guys. Probably, we said Stroud earlier. Probably go Stroud first.
Yeah, Stroud would be my number 1. Flacco would be 2. Murray would be 3. Carr would be 4. Minshew would be 5. That's how I would rank it.
Yep.
And picking two of these. Well, you do have 2 flexes at least. I'm gonna say you got to play Pittman and then Olave. You got to play JT. You got to play Bijan. What is that? That's 2 running backs, a wide receiver, a flex. We only have 1 flex spot left. I guess Swift. I really want to play Eckler. I really do, but maybe Swift is safer. So maybe Swift, JT. I will say if Pittman doesn't play, Then Olave would be my wide receiver, and Eckler would be my next flex.
Yeah, as good as Cooper was last week, again, you still want to start Olave, and I think you still have to start Pittman. So I think those have to be the receivers. I'm going Bijan. Like I just am, no doubt. I like him this week. I think you got to go JT, and I like Swift. So I think we're going to agree here. We've got pretty much the same players lined up. Connor, solid, but not with these guys. In most lineups, he'd be your number 3 or 4 back. And then Eckler. I know you like Eckler this week, but we have to acknowledge there's some risk here compared to these guys.
Definitely some risk.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. JT Bijan, Olave Pittman, flex Swift and Cooper, and then go with Stroud if you can. All right. Okay, Mo got some explaining here. When Purdy over Mahomes, yeah, well, they both kind of tanked this week, didn't they? But Purdy worse. Lost to Justin Tucker. That stings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Yep, that's rough. That's rough.
And sometimes, yep, it's just how it goes. All right. Benny, here we go. Needs a quarterback, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. McBride is the tight end. Good. Fields, Stroud, Allen, Puka. I guess that's Keenan Allen, I'm assuming. Keenan Allen, Puka, Reed, Thielen, or Wilson. Pollard, Gibbs, JT, Connor, Chandler. And then a defense question. Sorry.
Again, I'm going to say if Stroud plays, I probably feel a bit better about him than Fields at home. Great matchup. Don't have to worry about if DJ Moore and Cole Kmet are healthy. So if Stroud plays, I'm going to go Stroud. Obviously, if he doesn't, you're going Fields. 2 wide receivers, Keenan and Puka, assuming Keenan plays. If not, Reed and Puka. Here's the problem. Garrett Wilson plays on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't need to risk it with Wilson. I'm not. Because even if, okay, so you're saying, what if Reed doesn't play and Allen doesn't play, then you're forced to start Thielen, right?
Exactly, because Wilson's going to play on Thursday.
I'm okay. I'd rather start Thielen. I think Thielen can do just as much as Garrett Wilson this week.
Oh, man.
They get the Jaguars.
I know they get the Jaguars, but still pricey, I guess. All right, 2 running backs are going to be Gibbs and JT. And then I'm going to flex probably Connor. I'm going to probably flex Connor.
Yep. I think that all sounds good. Jets or Seattle. Jets get the Browns on the road. Seattle gets the Titans, I think. No? Was that last week?
That was last week.
Seattle gets... Ooh, they get Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh.
Oh, man. I think I kind of want to go the Jets, honestly. I mean, I know it's Flacco, but Flacco takes sacks. He turns the ball over still. Seattle? Oh, man, I don't know. I think I'm still going the Jets.
Well, Flacco does throw interceptions. That's for sure. Jets may be a little bit safer of a pick. I'm pretty sure Mason Rudolph will come back to earth this week. So if you want to go for the upside, then you might want to pick Seattle, but Jets should be pretty solid. Big route. In a 4-point passing PPR league has Dak, Mixon, Walker, Jefferson, Moore, Goddard, Cooper, and the Niners. Wow. Hurts on the bench.
Hurts on the bench? Yeah, I'm not benching Hurts.
Yeah, I'm not benching Hurts. I don't even know if it matters, but especially this week, they get the Cardinals. I'm playing Hurts.
Yeah. I'm playing Jalen Hurts against the Cardinals. Not only that, they're in Philly. I mean, I know Dak at home, that's nice, but I'm playing Jalen Hurts over Dak for sure. Mixon Walker, Mixon Walker is fine. Jefferson, Moore, Cooper. Man, you don't really. What are you going to do if DJ Moore is out? I guess you'd move Cooper to wide receiver and then maybe flex Chuba or Zeke, I guess.
Yeah. I'm wondering, debating here whether I would like Chuba over Mixon anyways. Mixon, it's at the Chiefs, not very good. Chuba, I guess the Jaguars, I guess that's not great either. So,
Wow. I think I still go Mixon.
yeah. All right. And then Jets on the bench, Niners this week.
Niners should be fine against the Commanders. Yeah, give me the.
Yes, you definitely want the Niners this week.
Give me the.
They'll be angry. All right. So, yeah, switch Hurts for Dak. Otherwise, you're good.
Yeah.
Doug Fenton. Field of Stroud.
Like I said, I'm going Stroud assuming he plays. I mean, Nico's healthy, Noah Brown's healthy, Dalton Schultz is healthy. He's at home. He gets the Titans. I'm going Stroud.
Yeah. Just go Stroud, and then you don't have to worry about it. Man, it's not just DJ Moore. It's Kmet banged up, and you saw Kmet had a huge game. Yeah. All right, don't risk it. Around the fur, also, just want to say thanks. Got a shout out here. Happy holidays. Dirt Bike Addict. All right. Full PPR. Would you go Eckler or CEH if no Pacheco?
Eckler. I'm going Eckler. I'm in on Eckler this week. He scored 21 last time against this Broncos defense. The Broncos run game is still terrible. And like I said, Giff Smith or Jiff Smith, I don't know how you pronounce it. I think I got the Smith part right. I don't know about the Giff or the Jiff. 15 carries, 4 targets. We didn't see Isaiah Spiller. We barely saw Josh Kelly. I think Eckler, kind of like Breece Hall last week, has a big game, kind of like George Pickens last week, kind of like Gabe Davis, has a big game in Week 17 for all the teams that are eliminated because they had Austin Eckler. He goes off finally in Week 17 when nobody is still alive because that's just how it has to go.
Yeah, I just have a hard time playing CEH over many players, especially when one of them is Austin Eckler. But look, forget that. Austin Eckler still is in a good enough spot. He should get enough usage. Yeah, I'm going to go Eckler. I know CEH is possibly going to be playable this week, but I would still go Eckler, even if Pacheco's out. The rest of the lineup looks good. I don't think I would go CEH over anybody else there. I don't feel a big Kamara week, but still, I'm not putting CEH over. Suzanne Burkholder playing week 17 and 18, going for third. All right, stick with Muth or grab one of these guys.
Grab Kraft.
Yep. All right, what is up, our boy Roberto? Been a minute. Are we simply play more PS5? I play plenty of PS5 when I'm off work, like this week. Are you talking about Twitch? Is that what you're talking about? Like actually streaming it?
You remember you did that a few times last year, I think.
I did, and I stopped because my internet was so crappy that I couldn't really get a good stream going. It's better now, so you know what? That might be doable. Now, here's the question. Would anybody actually, other than Roberto, thank you, Roberto, for caring, would anybody else actually care to watch? That's the question. We'll see.
Maybe.
Who else? The only other person who watched was Austin, just so he could basically troll and make fun of me while I was getting killed.
Yeah.
JR Fuentes, would you start Flacco this week? I got T-Law and he's hurt again.
Yeah, just give me Flacco. I'm not doing it with Trevor Lawrence. He hasn't even been good, and now he's banged up again.
Yeah.
Just give me Flacco.
Flacco's just been better than T-Law anyways, so you don't have to worry just about injury. And they need to flex some full PPR. Gibbs, Ayuk.
Ooh. Oh, man, you got to flex one of these guys?
Wow. You have to pick between Gibbs and Ayuk.
Hey, we got Jared Fuentes is that guy. Back-to-back wins.
Well, this perfect time. All right, we'll get to this in a second after we answer this question. Gibbs or Ayuk?
How do you sit Ayuk against the Commanders, but how do you sit Gibbs right now?
To me, Gibbs is like, I'm just starting him, no questions asked. But Ayuk, like, okay, well, maybe it's the Commanders. Like, I can't not play Ayuk. I can't. It's full PPR.
Yeah, I guess man, it's tough. How do you have to bench one of these guys?
That's why you're in the championship. Well, let's talk about, he's saying back-to-back draft wins. What is he talking about? All right, JR is tag guy. He's talking about Underdog. This is a perfect time to bring this up. Glad you reminded us. Every week, which before I show this, let's show the thing, guys. I know you weren't all on here at the beginning of the show, so just in case you weren't familiar with Underdog, we have a partnership with this great website. It's called Underdog, and they have a great app too. So you download the app, or you can click that link down below. It takes you there to sign up. You make an account. Use promo code Endgame, because what happens then is, first of all, whatever you put into your account up to $100 limit, they will match it dollar for dollar. So you double your money just for signing up and creating an account. And then you get a free pick. You do these pick'ems, you go higher or lower, and you just pick any stat from any player you like, from any game, from any sport. And I'm not exaggerating. They have every major sport, and even esports and golf and everything you can imagine, and every player that could possibly count. Even for football, they have kickers. They have defensive players. They have several stats for each one. Go check it out so you can see what I'm talking about. But what we're going to check out right now is the draft, because we have weekly drafts that we've been doing with you guys, and we have a repeat winner. So let's see. Let's show what we're talking about here. We had a week 16, basically like a best ball draft here. And here are the results. Number one, tag guy. All right, so congrats, JR. Gets fame and glory for this week, and he won $18. Not too bad. Low entry point here, as you can see. We're doing this mainly for fun. But you can do custom leagues. We made a custom 10-person league, $3 entry, just so we can get in, get it done, have some fun, enjoy drafting, because drafting is the best part of fantasy. I think everyone agrees with that. So what do you think did it for him this week? Was it just a good balanced team, or was Joe Flacco the key?
My bad. No, I'm sorry, I muted. This is a good. I mean, Flacco, Henry, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans. I mean, you hit 4 guys scoring 20 plus in half PPR. That's a good week. So it's just a good team. Good team here. Well done.
Yeah, it's funny because we always say that one big game, right? That player who goes off, like, okay, if you had Amari Cooper, you should have won. But this team had a few really good players, not just one. They didn't have like a 50-point week or something. But of course, Sun God was huge. Evans was huge. Henry, Flacco. All right, and then second place is, I believe this is Miguel, correct? Severed Rock, who had also won the week before. Or 2 weeks ago, I think he won. So we got some repeat. You guys know what you're doing here, huh? We got some repeat winners.
Yeah.
Baker, Bijan, Spears really didn't have great running backs, but had Justin Jefferson and Calvin Ridley came through. So not too bad. Third place, a team that has Nick Mullins. Let's see. Njoku at tight end, CeeDee Lamb, Monty, and James Conner. So again, just a pretty well-balanced team.
Yep.
And you can get a dud. Like McLaurin did nothing, or almost nothing. It doesn't matter, right? In this case, you just have some good players. And then I came in right here, 7th place, because Justin Fields was a good pick. DJ Moore turned out to not be a good pick because he got hurt in the very first drive of the game. So my hopes and dreams were pretty much shattered after that. Evan Ingram actually wound up being a nice last tight end pick there, but my running backs did me no favors. I really thought Chuba was going to have a bigger game, didn't you?
Yeah, Chuba was a little disappointing. I mean, he was okay. He scored, but yeah, I really thought he was going to have a bigger game.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's it. So congrats to Tat Guy, aka JR. And we're going to do it again. We'll do another draft. And I think pretty soon we're going to have to do one of those playoff best ball, right? Playoff leagues. And
oh, yeah.
You can do those now. You don't have to wait of course, you want to do it with us, that's great. But you can do your own. You can create your own custom league. You can do all these things on Underdog. All right. I'm going to stop sharing there. So, yeah, that was fun. And you did it last week, and I did this. We'll try to both get together this week at the same time.
Yes, this week we should both go.
All right, let's keep going here. Alex B. My wife needed 9 points from Purdy.
I mean, imagine going into that game where like, I see 9 points, I got this, and then you don't even get that.
Let's talk. I mean, we could go on about this. I'm not going to go on about the Niners and Purdy, but the whole Purdy for MVP thing. I mean, it's like, come on. You knew this was a joke at the beginning, but I know one game, everybody has a bad game. Like a couple of weeks ago, Jalen Hurts had a bad game, right? And they lost. And Dak Prescott had a horrible game. Like everybody has bad games. But come on. Like since when have you seen a quarterback in that kind of system with those kind of weapons be that bad? There's no way Brock Purdy should have ever been an MVP candidate. And I almost regret saying that you still had to start him this week. But I do still think, and I know you feel the same way, that you have to start him next week, right? Just because it's the Commanders.
Oh, yeah. You still got to start this week if you somehow survive with them. I just think the whole MVP thing is ridiculous. Like, it's like every single week. It's like week 12 and people are debating who the MVP is. Like, it's week 12, people. There's still 6 games to go, and we're debating. There's still 30% of the season left, and we're all like, oh, he's the MVP. It's like, no, just wait till all the games have been played and let's figure out who the MVP is. But I guess people need something to talk about. So
that's what it is. Oh, we give after like 4 weeks, people will be like, "Oh, early MVP frontrunner." You just don't want to like just. But yeah, I think sure you got bit last week by Brock Purdy. If you start him and you advanced, you still have to play him. It's the Washington Commanders.
Got to go with him.
How many quarterbacks would you start over Purdy this week in fantasy?
I mean, off the top of my head, maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about it. It's hard not to overreact to what you just saw, especially if you have Purdy on your team and you just got nothing from him. But you got to look to next week. He should be in store for at least a good game, if not a huge game next week. All right, let's get to more of your questions, though, because that's what we're here for. Titan 76. Have Evans benched Keenan Allen. Here are my bench options to replace Allen in case he doesn't play. Higgins, Johnson, Hopkins. Then a tight end question.
I think Higgins would be my number 1, although we do have to see if Jamar Chase is playing. It's really not a great spot for him, but I think I'd have to have Higgins above these guys, and then maybe Hopkins too, I guess. But Higgins probably my number 1 choice.
I think even if Chase plays, I probably would still keep Higgins over those other guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if Keenan doesn't play, just go Higgins. And then Goddard likely.
I got to go Goddard. He was pretty good this week. I mean, he had a pretty good game. I know he didn't score, but he had a pass in the end zone. And he gets the Cardinals. I mean, they're not like horrible against tight end, but 7 catches, 71 yards. I'll just take Goddard.
Yes, I will take Goddard as well. Tristram is back in the championship. Very nice. 10 team. Looks like Chase might be out. Lamar, Russ Wilson, Amon-Ra, Addison, Wilson, Sutton, Gibbs, Connor, Etienne, Spears, Brian Robinson. Needs a quarterback, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex.
All right, well, wide receiver. I mean, we don't know about Sutton. I mean, you got to play Sun God. But again, here's the thing. If you don't play Garrett Wilson on Thursday, and Sutton is out, and Addison is out, and Chase is out, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, who are your other options? Like, if you have if you're like, well, I could pivot to KJ Osborne, okay, maybe I wait. Maybe I wait and hope those guys play. But
I mean, I'm trying to look. I think this can't be. Is this the whole? I guess this is the whole roster. I think this is the whole roster.
I guess so.
Just not deep at receiver.
Yeah, gives it running back for sure, and I probably flex Connor. It's because of your wide receiver situation. I'll just flex Connor. So Sun God is one of your wide receivers for sure. Gibbs at running back, Connor at flex. Let's hope we get some good news, like Jamar Chase is back at practice tomorrow or Thursday, where you can feel like maybe he'll play. Otherwise, you're going to have a tough decision on Thursday with Garrett Wilson because literally all your other wide receivers could be out.
Yeah, I would like to say you feel good about Sutton, but you can't feel good if he doesn't play. So, but it's a 10-team league. I gotta think you should be able to pick somebody up. So if you're down Chase and Sutton, and Addison doesn't play, you know what? I feel like KJ Osborne might be just as good as Garrett Wilson. I'll say that. I don't feel good about Garrett Wilson. I wouldn't want to start Garrett Wilson. Let's put it that way. So just wait and see here. Oh, this is a gut punch. Juice 420 said CMC did his best, but the Ravens ran out the clock. He says he was eliminated by 1 point.
Oh my gosh, and your team was so stacked too. I remember your team was just stacked.
Yep. And he was like a 14-2 record or something like that.
Yeah, and your team was just insane. It was like a 14-teamer, and it was like a stacked team for a 12-teamer.
But in fantasy, you never know. You never know. The best team doesn't always win because
No.
How about this? Josh Morn. CEH or Brees Hall?
I mean, you probably still have to go Brees Hall. At least he'll catch passes. And we don't know that it's CEH. Pacheco is in the concussion protocol. We've seen guys more recently clear concussion. Like it felt like for like the first 2/3 of the season, if you got a concussion, you were not playing next week. Like there was no chance you were going to clear. Now we're seeing lots of guys clear all of a sudden. So there's no guarantee that it's CEH this week. I think you might just have to roll Brees Hall.
Yeah, I'm just going to go Brees Hall because even though I don't love him and I don't love the matchup, I still trust him more than CEH, and he could still do something, get those dump offs. He should give you the floor at the very least, I feel like. So I'm just going to go Hall and hope for the best. What about this one? Han Lee is afraid to play Mostert because of the defense. They looked scary last night, but still. I mean, I can definitely – I don't even have to think about playing Chandler over Mostert, but what about Eckler? You like Eckler this week?
I do like Eckler, but I think Mostert is way safer. I mean, the guy just keeps scoring touchdowns like every week. And unlike Jamal Williams last year, who would score a touchdown and still give you nothing, Raheem Mostert gives you plenty more than just a touchdown. So I'm still going Mostert this week. He's come through in so many good, tough matchups this year. It doesn't matter. I'm going Mostert still.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The Dolphins have played plenty of tough defenses this year, and Mostert's still leading the league in touchdowns. They just played Dallas. They played the Jets twice. They played some good defenses. You're still going to play Mostert. Yeah, Eckler is playable, but Mostert, you just don't worry about it. Just play him. Christopher E. somehow went from 0-6 to the finals.
Yes. That's the best. Good luck, Christopher. Man, what a great comeback story that would be. Awesome.
Tell you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Always, especially in fantasy. Ace Flame, Adams almost killed him last week. Do you roll him out one more time? Oh, it depends.
I mean, it depends who you have. But yeah, jeez. Adams did kill me against you.
That's right.
Adams, Travis Kelce, James Cook, Tua, you guys all killed me. Thanks.
Yeah, he wasn't the only one. Skyward in the chip, half PPR, three of these guys, who sits Bijan, Swift, JT, Kyron?
I think in this case, Swift sits. He's the one I still feel like, yeah, he had a nice game, but let's not forget, for a long time in that game, it was looking like he was going to be a bust again, and then he had like the nice fourth quarter. He scored a touchdown finally. He's still the one I feel like the most nervous about. So I'm going to go JT, Kyron, and Bijan.
Yeah, I think it has to be Swift because he has the lowest of the ceilings here. You have to start Kyron. I'm still in on Bijan this week, and JT gets the Raiders. That's such a good spot.
Yeah.
So I know I love Swift this week, and I love the matchup against Arizona. You have to put him a little bit below these guys because he also could not score a touchdown because he gets vultured by his quarterback.
Right.
Rex Sutherland in the championship. Barkley or Etienne?
I think you got to go Barkley. I actually do like Etienne this week. I think Etienne could boom, but he could also completely bust. He's very risky. I know it's a tough matchup for Barkley, but it was a tough matchup last week too, and look what he did. So give me Barkley.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go Barkley here. Etienne could bounce back, but I'm going to feel much more comfortable with Barkley in my lineup. William Walsh, for all the marbles, Dak or Lamar?
Man. This one's actually tough because Dak is at home against the Lions. He could absolutely go off this week, but I always have a hard time benching Lamar, right? He has that rushing ability. I'm going to go Lamar, but it is close. It is close for me.
Yeah, I think I like Dak, of course, a lot this week, but I can't bench Lamar. And the Dolphins defense is fine, but they're not scary. Right? They're not going to scare me. And this is sort of a homecoming for Lamar. Remember, he's from the Miami area, from Pompano Beach. So he'll be extra motivated for whatever that's worth. The only thing I might worry about with Baltimore is a letdown, right? They just had this huge win on Monday night against the Niners. Sometimes teams let down. Sometimes teams get caught looking ahead. I don't think you can say that, though, because it was a big win for the Dolphins, too. They just beat the Cowboys. So whatever. I
will say, though, this is too strong teams. It's not like they're playing like some nobody team. It's two strong teams in the AFC. I think they'll be both.
Well, they should be. This will determine the number one seed in the AFC, basically. So, yeah, go Lamar. All right, we have Rissa 1382 championship match. Let's go full PPR. We need three of these guys: JT, Aaron Jones, Rachaad White, Connor, Zeke, Chandler.
I think you got to play Jonathan Taylor and you got to play Rachaad White.
Yeah. So Jones or Connor. Connor feels a little safer. Jones feels like he has more upside, but he's riskier. So,
yeah, might just go with Connor. You got White and JT. Just go Connor.
Yeah, I'm fine either way. Connor, Jones, like Connor last week, came through. Connor's been really good for 3 straight weeks. Really good in fantasy. So maybe just don't sweat it. Just go Connor. And then defense, rank these guys: Raiders, Jacksonville, Falcons, Bears.
I don't know. Maybe Bears at home against the Falcons. What are we really scared of with the Falcons? Like, they run for 2 touchdowns. It's like Taylor Heineke. I don't know. Raiders have been on fire, though. You just keep rolling with the hot hand of the Raiders. Like, you just keep rolling with them. Like, they've been winning. They've won 2 weeks in a row. Maybe just roll with the hot hand of the Raiders. Not a bad spot for them.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about it until you brought it up. I mean, last week they beat the Chiefs with their defense, basically. Didn't they have 2 defensive touchdowns?
Yeah, the offense had 0 touchdowns and 62 passing yards.
And it's the Colts and Gardner Minshew. I might be underestimating the Raiders defense because I kind of just dismissed them the last time. I don't want to play the Jags. Jags are just struggling.
No.
Yeah, let's just go Raiders here. I like the Bears too, but I don't like their matchup this week as much because the Falcons just are so conservative. All right, let's get it. Rusty, we in the ship. Half PPR needs 2, 2, and 1. Pittman, Adams, Higgins, JSN, Deontay, Eckler, Bijan, Jones, Connor, Ford, Chandler.
All right. Well, wide receiver, I'm going Pittman if he plays.
Adams is still going to be the tough one, right? What do we get?
Yes.
Just talk about
Adams and Higgins is tough because even if Jamar Chase doesn't play, Falcons are a really good defense, and Jake Browning just looked awful. Let's not forget, the reason why Higgins had a big game is because he took a slant 80 yards for a touchdown. And I get it. Look, Higgins is a good player, but are we expecting Higgins to go take an 80-yard slant for a touchdown again? It wasn't like Higgins, had like an Amari Cooper game where he had 8 or 9 catches. Well, Cooper, I think, had even more, 11. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's not like he had a bunch of catches and, it was just like.
Yeah. Well, and what happened really with that game is, remember, the Bengals got down big early, right away somehow to Mason Rudolph. So basically all of Jake Browning's production and T. Higgins' production when he wasn't throwing interceptions was garbage time. It was come from behind, right? We had to pass. They had to pass.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to do that.
Still, Adams with Aiden O'Connell, jeez. I guess Pittman and Higgins, and if Pittman doesn't play, then Adams and Higgins would be my choice. Running back, I'm going Bijan, and then if it's me, I'm going Eckler. If you want to go safer, you can go Bijan and Connor. But I'm going Bijan and Eckler. I like their upside.
And then at flex, you just flex
Connor.
Flex the other guy. Yeah, I think with these receivers, you can flex a running back. It's half PPR. Yeah, definitely want to start Bijan here. Eckler, Connor. Yeah, it's Adams or Higgins. That's the tough one. So I think if it was me, I would go Adams. Raiders seem to be a little schizophrenic, right? Either they pass a lot or they don't pass a lot. They haven't been passing much, but it's the Colts. It's not too bad a matchup. So, all right, let's move on to Luke Ferrando. Needs 3. Keenan, Nico, Rashee, Flowers, Devontae Smith.
I think you got to go Smith and Nico this week. And then I'll say if Keenan plays, I'll go Keenan. If not, I'd probably go Rashee Rice.
Yeah. Devontae Smith, just keep starting him. I think Keenan, you still have to start him if he plays. And, hey, Easton Stick has not been too bad. He's not been too bad. Even without Keenan, you got to think about that. He's been playing without Keenan Allen or Mike Williams.
Right.
Anyways. And Nico. I like Nico this week. This is Relic. Did I say that right? Relic. Q needs to pick a flex in championship games. Zeke, Amari, Aaron Jones.
I think even though it's the Jets, it's PPR, I think you got to go Cooper. Maybe Aaron Jones is a little safer, but I think you got to go Cooper. He's been playing great with Flacco. He should still be good enough. I think you got to go Cooper here.
Yeah, in this group, I can easily say no to Zeke this week. And then I like Jones enough. He's playable, but yeah, these are guys I won't sit Cooper for. JT and Swift, yes. AJ Brown and Jefferson, yes. So you're already good. All right, there you go. Go Cooper and hope he repeats. Okay, Phil with a serious question. Who's your team, Chris? You don't represent on the screen like I do.
Well, my team is technically the Commanders, but these days I hardly root for teams. It's just all fantasy all the time. But my team is technically the Commanders.
Now, what if What if the Commanders somehow land themselves a franchise quarterback and they become a winning team? You gonna be all in Washington, or nah?
I'm not even really all in sport. Like even the Lakers, like I'm just not that all into sports teams anymore. Like I don't know. It's like I just got to the point in my life where it's like, why do I live and die by these stupid sports teams? Like if they win, great, but why do I let it ruin my day that like the Lakers lost to the Celtics or something? You know what I mean? Like 'cause I used to be like that. It's just like
Oh yeah.
there's more important things in life than living and dying by what your sports team that you have no control over. By the way, you have no control if they win or lose. So sure, I would certainly root for them, and I would be happy, and it would be cool to see them win a Super Bowl again. But at the same time, if they don't, I'm gonna, oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, this is another way we're very, very similar. I used to live and die by Miami Hurricanes football and baseball too, basketball, but like we get into like the recruiting and who they're trying to get and everything. It's like not only have I learned from years of pain and letdowns, but also it's to the point. It's like really like what's the point? Like I used to plan my weekend around that. Like if the Canes were playing on Saturday, like forget it. Like I can't go to that party. Like the Canes are playing. Like no,
Yeah,
it's not worth it, right? It's just not worth it.
no.
This is what we live for. This. Made it to the
Yes.
championships. Matt is in there. Thank you. All right. Now, thank you for watching all season. That's what we should be saying, guys. We trying to help you all out, trying to get it so that fantasy football is a pleasurable experience by actually winning and getting those championships. And I like to add getting some perspective. Like, you know what? You're going to lose by 1 point sometimes. You're
Yep.
going to get negative points from your quarterback sometimes.
Yep.
It's just going to happen. You can only control so much, right?
Yes.
Derek Elam made it to this third straight championship game, going for the three-peat. Talk about the Lakers.
Yeah, I'd rather three-peat in fantasy football than watch the Lakers three-peat.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on the league, but yeah. Benson the Bear. Superflex. We need 2 quarterbacks: Stafford, Flacco, Mullins, Heineke.
Heineke not even a consideration. Stafford probably my favorite. I think I'm gonna go Flacco number 2. Look, if we're gonna go with quarterbacks who are gonna chuck it and turn the ball over, I'm gonna go with the one who I feel, playing at home, who I feel better about chucking it and not turning the ball over. That's Flacco. So Stafford and Flacco.
Yeah. It's definitely the first 2. I would feel better about Flacco regardless. But now when you add, oh yeah, TJ Hawkinson's gone and Addison might be gone, you got to definitely worry about Mullins. All right, Mo. PPR, quarterback, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, tight end, and a flex. Pick the lineup, Dak or Hurts.
Hurts. I'm still going Hurts. They're at home against the Cardinals. Give me Hurts.
And then 2 big question marks, got Keenan and Chase. I think if they play, you play them. So if they don't play, who are the next 2? Rice, Palmer, Noah Brown, Demarcus Robinson.
So I'll rank them: Rice, Noah Brown, Demarcus Robinson, Palmer.
I agree. That seems pretty fair. And then got Kyron, Barkley, Etienne, Chuba. Need 2 running backs, and then we still need a flex.
Yeah, Kyron and Barkley are my running backs. I'll say, is this PPR? Yeah, if Keenan and Chase play, I probably flex Rice. But if one of those guys don't play or both don't play, then I probably flex Etienne and gamble on the matchup.
Yeah, if they both don't play, you're digging deep there. I mean, Noah Brown's not a bad choice, but if it's Rice and Noah Brown starting and then you're flexing either Demarcus Robinson or Etienne, yeah, I know Demarcus Robinson has been scoring, but I don't think I can sit Etienne for him.
Right.
Honestly, the only reason we even say this about Etienne this week is the reason why you're gonna like him this week is the matchup. It's against Carolina.
Exactly.
And then what do you think about Okonkwo over Kraft?
I think I'm going Kraft. It's close here, but Packers receivers all sorts of banged up, and he's got Jordan Love throwing, not Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill. Look, it might not even be Ryan Tannehill again. we might be back to Will Levis, and Concord wasn't really doing a whole lot with Will Levis before, so I'm just gonna go Kraft.
Yeah, this one is really it depends kind of thing because Kraft, how many Packers receivers are going to suit up this week? We have no idea. And then is Ryan Tannehill going to be the quarterback? I think if Tannehill's still the quarterback, you can try a Conquo. But Kraft is seemingly like the safer pick. Here's an easy one. Woogie Boogie. Ooh, not Boogie Woogie. It's reversed. Mullins or Carr?
I might go Carr this week. He's been playing well. Good matchup. Saints can't run the ball. Might go Carr.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Carr here. Then Ivan Rodriguez. Is that you, Pudge? Full PPR, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex. JT, Aaron Jones, Mixon, Rashad White, Cooper, Higgins, Wilson, Thielen.
All right, 2 running backs are going to be JT and Rashad White. 2 wide receivers are going to be Cooper and Higgins, I guess. Just don't feel good about Wilson or Thielen.
Right.
Flex. I think I'm gonna flex Aaron Jones over Mixon. It's not a bad spot for Mixon this week, but you gotta worry. You gotta worry now. Like, okay, maybe the Jake Browning heater is over, and we're seeing the real Jake Browning again. The guy who went undrafted in 2019 and hadn't started the game until now. Like, there's a reason. I always think it's funny when these guys come out and play well for a couple games, and people are like, "How is this guy not starting before?" And then it's like, "Oh, that's why he hasn't been starting." That's right. That's right.
Yeah, if anybody hadn't learned now, how many times have we seen this backup quarterback come out and have like 2 good games, land a fat contract, and then look like the guy that was a backup? Remember Matt Flynn? Everyone remember the Matt Flynn experiment?
Oh my! One game turned that into a contract. Good for him.
Good for him. Matt Castle comes to mind.
Yeah.
For years, they tried to make him like a Starlow QB.
Pretty much anybody who backed up Tom Brady. It's like, well, the only reason he's not good is because he's stuck behind Tom Brady.
Exactly. Anyways, yeah, you got to start JT and Rashad White, Cooper Higgins, and then I like Aaron Jones enough. In PPR, he'll get some receptions. So there you go. T. Davis needs 2 for the flex. Etienne, Noah Brown, likely Demarcus Robinson, and Jacoby Myers.
Well, I actually think I put Etienne number 1 out of this group. And then I'd probably go Noah Brown number 2. Should have CJ Stroud back this week at home against the Titans. I'm going to go Etienne and Noah Brown.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the first 2. Not going to flex likely. Robinson's fine, but I like Noah Brown's upside better. And then Matt, plan to start 2 receivers, Puka and Evans. Good call. Also have Keenan Allen, Metcalf, and Diggs. Would you bench Diggs for these guys? Now, this is a legit question because you have guys like Keenan Allen, and I feel like you do have to start Evans and probably Puka too.
Yeah, I feel like you got to start Evans and Puka. I mean, Puka against the Giants. Got to start Puka. I think I might start Keenan Allen or Metcalf over Diggs this week. I just may not risk it with Diggs. So I think Allen and Metcalf can be good enough. So I may start these guys over Diggs this week, yes.
This is I guess, perfect kind of example of this dilemma of when you can consider benching Diggs. Yeah, for Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, sure. But it really is going to come down to how good you feel about Keenan Allen. Is he going to be full go? Is he going to be without restrictions? So I would tentatively plan to flex Keenan Allen and then see what happens. What about Clayton Poirier? Kraft or Kincaid?
Kraft. You can't feel good about King. I mean, we're over here debating if we're going to start Stefon Diggs. How are we going to start the tight end? Give me Kraft.
I'm actually dropping Kincaid in that one league where I traded for him. Remember? Yeah, I think I'm just going to drop him. JK. All right. Saying the only mistake we made was starting London over Flowers. Yeah, that didn't turn out too good. We're not making that mistake. I can tell you right now, I'm not starting London this week, and not just because of last week. But anyways, who we like here? Flowers, Pickens, Najee, Noah, or Gus?
Probably Flowers. Probably do like Flowers the most here. Don't like London this week. I'm not chasing that Pickens game. Najee, yeah. Gus. I mean, Noah Brown is okay, but probably gotta go Flowers here. Probably gotta go Flowers.
Yeah, I think Najee is solid, but there's really no reason not to be on Flowers. So, I hate to say anything that seems to be reactive to last week, because last week was last week. Doesn't mean that Zay Flowers is going to be, going off this week. But yeah, I think we can feel good enough about him. Zay Flowers, like Lamar Jackson, also originally from Florida. So yeah, I know these things because it still matters to me somehow. Marcus WJ, the defending champ, went down this weekend. Wow, Breece Hall ended it, but still needs help. Wide receiver 2, 1 tight end, and 1 flex. I guess we're playing for third here.
I guess. I'm curious how many points Breece Hall scored in his league. Because he scored like 40 in regular fantasy leagues. But this is a point per carry league. Although I will say he didn't have like a huge. I think he had like a 30-something yard touchdown. So he didn't have a huge touchdown. But I'm very curious how many points Breece Hall got in that league. But let's see. We need wide receiver 2, a tight end, and a flex. St. Brown, AGP, Laporta, Kelsey, Monty, Achane, Eckler. Remember, this is point per carry. I think you got to go St. Brown at wide receiver 2. Although this is a league, he also gets bonuses for like 40-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown. But I still think I go St. Brown over AJB. Laporta, I'm still going Laporta over Kelsey at tight end. Look, Kelsey, what a bust he was too. They're both busted. Kelsey and Laporta busted this week. All the tight ends busted this week. Let's be real. Tight end was terrible this week.
Right. Except in Njoku.
Except in Njoku. Because why not? Oh, man. Am I going Eckler at the flex? It's point per carry, remember. Point per carry.
Well, it says need wide receiver 2. I think a wide receiver 2. I don't think 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, so I'm going St. Brown.
So, St. Brown and AJB at the flex, right?
No, because it's a point per carry league. And it's just regular PPR for wide receiver. So Eckler last week got whatever he got plus 15 points.
Yeah, I guess. Because he did get a lot of carries last week.
Okay,
yeah, I guess.
You guess. Let me put this into context. Let me put this into context for you. AJ Brown had 6 catches for 80 yards. That's 14 PPR points. Austin Eckler, just in his carries, got 15 points in this league. Austin Eckler, if he got 0 yards, outscored AJ Brown last week. If he did nothing, like that's the context of this league. You have to totally throw your thinking out. It's a totally different thinking here. It took me a while. I'm sure I made a lot of bad decisions for Marcus early in the year until I actually figured out the impact of the point per carry. Like Eckler starts the game with 15 points. That's his floor. 15 points is Eckler's floor. Like if he does nothing, he gets 15 points.
Yeah, and like an average week, David Montgomery has like 45 or something.
Exactly. You got to totally think different here. Like, yes, 99 times out of 100, I'm saying AJ Brown at the flex.
Right.
But in this format, I might go Eckler because even Monty, like I don't know if Monty's going to get as many carries as Eckler this week. To be honest, with Gibbs there, I might go
much
Eckler.
Better matchup for Eckler. So
yeah.
All right, so Eckler, St. Brown, and Laporta over Kelsey.
I guess, or Kelsey over Laporta.
Or Kelsey over Laporta.
Who cares? Whatever.
I'll go Laporta. Jason Lynn, do you dare pull AJ Brown for Puka?
I don't think so. It's the Cardinals. It's the Arizona Cardinals. I think I'm still starting AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'm still starting AJ Brown. John, Super Bowl lineup. Got Stafford, got Breece and Etienne, and Diggs. This sounded like an amazing lineup in week 1. And AJ Brown, Schultz, Olave, Keenan. Would you put Flowers over anybody?
I mean, if Keenan doesn't play, sure, I'll put Flowers in over him. But
You're not benching Diggs for Flowers.
no, I'm not benching Diggs for Flowers. I'm not benching AJ Brown for Flowers. I'm not benching Olave for Flowers. I'm not even benching Keenan for Flowers if Keenan plays.
Agree. And then somebody also earlier asked about Schultz with these guys. How do you feel about Schultz just in general this week? Is there a streamer you like better, like a Kraft or a Chig, or just go with Schultz?
Yeah, probably just go with Schultz. He should have Stroud back there. I don't love him, but I don't really love those guys. So.
All right, we got trying to see. Okay, Amy. Still going. All right. Do we trust Tua? Not really, but Mullins, no. Carr, Stick, Browning, Rudolph.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Tua this week, but I'm not starting any of these guys over Tua this week.
The only one I would consider is Carr. Am I really going to put Derek Carr over Tua in my championship? No, I couldn't do it. Because if nothing else, he's still got Tyreek Hill. I will say you got to be worried, not just because they're going against Baltimore in that defense that just humiliated the Niners. No Jalen Waddle. But still, could I put Derek Carr over Tua in my championship? I don't think so.
And look, as somebody who started Tua against you and started Tyreek Hill in another league, but thankfully still won that one. Tyreek Hill dropped a 92-yard touchdown early in that game. I mean, the throw wasn't perfect, but that's a catch Tyreek Hill should probably make, and then he's gone. He's gone. You give him that, you give Tua that touchdown, suddenly you're not feeling too bad about Tua right now. So I think as long as he's got Tyreek Hill, I'm still going to trust him over these guys.
Yeah, I'll just say Carr's the only one I would consider. I think I would still put Tua. If your gut says no, hey, go for it. Right. Defense, Falcons, Raiders, Bears, Chiefs, Chargers. Not the Chargers.
Yeah, Bears probably your safest bet at home against the Falcons, but Raiders, they've been rolling. They have so much upside. I think I'd rather chase a defense with more upside, so I'll go Raiders.
Yeah. Might as well keep going, see if they keep it going. All right. So got some disjointed chats here. Trying to figure out Samuel Montero. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, here we go. 2 comments. Full PPR in the chip. Have a problem starting Evans. Okay. Here we go. He says historically he doesn't produce against the Saints. This is mostly true, but not completely true. He did have a good game last time, right?
Yes, and remember, it's not the Saints that he necessarily struggles against. It's Marshawn Lattimore, who is on IR, and they've already said he's not going to – I think they already said he's not playing this week. Like Dennis Allen said he's not going to play this week. So, yeah, I can't. Maybe Evans is going to be the reverse Mike Evans this year, whereas last year, remember, he just sucked all year with Tom Brady. He was horrible. And finally, in week 17, it's like, you can't start Mike Evans, and then he went off. Maybe he's going to be the reverse this year. He's going to be great all year, and then week 17 he'll bust. But I still got to put him in my lineup.
I learned my lesson last. There's no way I will say no to Mike Evans this week. There's no way you stick with Evans, especially look your options, Noah Brown, DeMarcus Robinson. Those guys may be in a pinch, but no, you have to start Evans.
Yes.
What about this? Birdman. Would you start Ingram over Kelsey?
I might. Ingram's been better. He's getting better usage than Travis Kelsey, honestly. I might just do it.
What if it's CJ Beathard?
I mean, it's certainly not as good, but didn't CJ Beathard come in last game and still give him a bunch of targets? I don't know. I still might. Might.
With Christian Kirk out, it's just been Evan Ingram show, basically. He's been solid. You know what? Take the risk out of it, and sure, you can go Ingram. It's a tough call, though. And then we have I think it's a different John, because this one's orange, but I don't see a question from this John, so we'll look for it. Let's go to Doug Fenton.
What?
Championship round.
How do you do a week 8? How do you do a week 19? Isn't that the playoffs? Like the real NFL playoffs?
I think he probably meant 17, 18.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, I'll assume so. Okay, Murray, Swift, Hall, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Schultz, Ford versus Stroud, CMC, Jones, Lamb, Devon. So which side do you like better?
I like Stroud over Murray. Swift and Hall versus Aaron Jones and CMC. I got to give the edge to CMC and Aaron Jones. Jefferson, Amon-Ra versus Lamb and Smith. I'll probably give the edge to Jefferson, Amon-Ra. Ingram, Schultz, got to go Ingram. Puka, Ford, got to go Puka by a lot. I think I like the Stroud team the best.
Yeah, I would prefer the bottom team. But just say this. You never know. You never know. So don't assume. Don't worry about projections. Don't just put your best lineup out there and see what happens. All right. And Keith is in the house. Good evening. In the finals of 5 leagues, some tough calls. So no premium. Would you like Njoku or McBride?
Man. I think McBride is safer, but Njoku has more upside. So give me Njoku. I'd rather have the upside. I'd rather have a guy who can give me, 20 points versus a guy who can give me like 12. Give me Njoku.
I like Njoku this week. He's on the Boom video, which will come out soon. So I would go Njoku. And then second needs an RB2 and 2 flexes. Bijan, Nico, DK, Amari, Brees. An RB and 2.
All right, Bijan at running back, Nico at a flex, and I think I'm going to actually flex DK. I like DK this week against the Steelers at home. I know it's tough to bench Cooper and Brees after last week, but man, this seems like prime letdown weeks for these guys. I'm going Bijan, Nico, and DK.
Yeah, Bijan's definitely the running back here. I like Nico this week, and then it's between Cooper and DK. DK, yeah. I don't know. Cooper or DK? You go DK.
I'm okay with Cooper too. He's, you want to, if you're like, I can't bench him after last week, I'm okay with that too. But.
Yeah, I don't like using after last week, but he's just been good for so many weeks in a row with Joe Flacco there. I might put Cooper in there, but I could go DK for upsides as well. That helps. Lex Dad, 1 down. All right. You already got one championship. That's nice. And then week 1 here. So this is another 2-week thing. Used Noah Brown last week. Not great. Not counting on Allen or Chase. Okay. Have Palmer. Could get DeMarcus Robinson. So you like Palmer, Robinson, or would you just go Noah Brown?
I think I just go Noah Brown. Okay. Remember last week was Cleveland with Case Keenum. Did not love Noah Brown last week. This week it's hopefully CJ Stroud, and it's definitely against the Titans. So I'm going to go Noah Brown. If for some reason Stroud is out, then I would go DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, hopefully one of those guys does play, and you don't have to worry about this, or both. Yeah, I would go Noah Brown too. Palmer's last of this group. Robinson should be fine, but yeah, Noah Brown should be in a good spot. So he would be the guy. Now, in that same game, Titan wants to know, can you trust Derrick Henry this week?
I will say, for maybe the first time ever, I actually liked Derrick Henry last week and you didn't. But I think maybe the first time ever, literally ever, that we've had the channel that has been the case.
Probably.
But I don't like him this week. On the road against the Texans, the Titans are way worse on the road. Derrick Henry's been way worse on the road. The last time he played the Texans, he was terrible. Texans aren't this, historically it's been like Derrick Henry owns the Texans. Well, they're not a bad defense this year. They're certainly not bad against the run. I don't know if you could trust Derrick Henry this week. I mean, I think he's still playable, but I certainly don't like him as much as I liked him last week.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they completely shut him down last time. Completely. Yes. It was horrible. It doesn't mean it'll happen again, but it's pretty clear the Texans have a game plan here. It's to take Derrick Henry out of the game, which is what every team should just do when they're playing the Titans because they have no passing game.
Exactly.
I have a feeling they're going to try to take him out again because D'Amico Ryans, he knows what he's doing. He's a good defensive coach. So no, I don't trust Derrick Henry this week. And isn't it on the road too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which again, for some reason, it shouldn't matter. It matters though. For some teams, they have very pronounced home road splits. The Titans have one of the most pronounced home road splits. Derrick Henry is part of that. So no, don't trust him. What about Briar Evans? Waddle, not just potentially. It sounds like he is for sure out this week and maybe longer, but plan to be without him. So Jacobs, Walker, or Reed at the flex?
Maybe just go Walker. I mean, I will like Jacobs if he's full go and he plays, but Walker's in a great spot this week. They're at home. I might just go Walker.
Yeah, Jacobs would be the best pick if he's good to go, but you're going to have to wait and see. But if not, Walker's totally fine. And then need another tight end with Hawk out. Hunter Henry, Kyle Pitts. Luke Musgrave is on IR still.
Yeah, I don't think Luke Musgrave's coming back. Look, Henry might maybe just go Pitts. Pitts seems to actually be better with Taylor Heineke. So maybe just go Pitts.
Yeah, the only one out of this group that you listed that's playing is Pitts because Henry missed last week, and I don't know if he'll play this week. And Musgrave, if you make Tucker Kraft, that's fine, but I think you can go Pitts over Kraft. Matt has CMC, needs another running back, Pollard or Achane. Wait a minute. Pollard, Achane. Can I trust any of them? Oh, those guys are on waivers.
Yeah, I'm not picking them up. I guess just go Pollard here. I mean, can we trust Achane at this point? No. Maybe if Mostert was completely out, maybe I could semi-trust Achane, but just go Pollard.
Achane has just looked like a regular running back the last few weeks. Just go Pollard here. And then Falanini needs one to take home the trophy. This is a fun bunch. Rashid Shaheed, Gabe Davis, Javonte Williams, JSN, or in the hypothetical alternate universe where Christian Watson actually plays, Christian Watson.
I'm actually going to go Shaheed. I like Shaheed this week. I think he has big game potential this week. I mean, look, Javonte might be your safe bet if you just want points, because we know he'll get the touches. But do you just want points? Go for the upside. Go for Shaheed. And don't do Gabe Davis. Look, it's like George Pickens. I'm sorry that you didn't play George Pickens or Gabe Davis last week, but you missed it. Okay, you missed it. Don't go chasing it. Don't go chasing it.
It's good advice. Don't go chasing waterfalls or random games by big receivers who do this every 5 weeks. I like Shaheed, the matchup. He's going to get the targets. Could do nothing, just like Gabe could do nothing. But yeah, I would go Shaheed. Cali Kid needs one. Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Lockett, Noah Brown, Demarcus Robinson, or Sutton if he plays.
Well, I'll say I would rank them Keenan Allen number 1, Courtland Sutton number 2, and then Lockett would be probably my number 3.
Yeah, unfortunately, the guys that you would like the best here are the ones who may or may not play, but it's got to be Keenan and Sutton as your first 2 choices. And then Lockett, Noah Brown. Probably the matchup is better for Lockett, huh? Yeah. Yeah,
and Lockett was another guy I liked last week. And I mean, he had a huge game, but 8 catches, 80 yards. I feel like if Gino's healthy and it's a good matchup, I feel like you can go for the upside a lot.
Yeah, he's finally involved again. All right, what about Ken Nguyen? Murray or Stroud?
I'm going Stroud if he plays, of course. At home against the Titans, got Nico, got Noah Brown, got Schultz. I'm going Stroud.
Stroud, it is for me too. Half PPR, Zeke Chandler, Raiders back. Kelsey McBride must sit 1, just like anyone.
So just we're sitting any of these guys. I might just sit McBride. It's half PPR. Like, what's the touchdown upside from McBride? And again, we saw, like, I know even I got kind of caught up into it last week. It's like, oh, you can flex a tight end over good players who are actually getting good usage. And then they turn into a tight end again. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's why we don't want to flex tight ends because,
Doesn't happen every week. Even Kelsey hasn't. Well, this year hasn't happened a lot of weeks for Kelsey. But anyways.
Right. But I feel like Kelsey has a better chance to score. Like, he gets chance. Like, does McBride even get red zone targets? I legit don't even know.
Yeah, not a ton because Cardinals don't get to the red zone that often, but he gets some. I like McBride enough this week. On the guy I'm not really feeling is Chandler because obviously it wasn't that great last week. Madison might be a little healthier. I don't know. I just don't love that offense this week, even though the Packers are terrible. I think I might take Chandler.
I mean, I'm okay with Chandler too. I do kind of like Chandler again this week. But, yeah, Chandler, if you want to sit Chandler, I'm okay with that too.
Jets or Houston or Raiders?
I think here I might go Houston. They've been really good too. They're at home. Go against the Titans. Either Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill. I don't care which one it is. I might go Houston.
Yeah, it probably doesn't really matter, right? These are all good choices, but in this case, I think Houston has the most upside. So there you go. Doug Fenton says first year playing in 8 years. He's playing full PPR. Just saying thanks. All right, well, good. Here we go.
There's a good comeback. 8 years off, and then it's like 8 years off, come back, just win the championship.
Yeah, no kidding.
No big deal. No big deal.
He says he really enjoys our reactions.
All right.
Very reactive. Issa what? Issa Sabag?
Don't ask me for names. Sabag? I don't know. I probably
Issa Sabag. All right. 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, flex, kicker, defense. Merry Christmas. All right. Made the finals. That's good. I got Stafford, Kyron, Cook, Chandler, Kupp, Ty Hill, Keenan Allen, Ridley, Gabe Davis, London, Ingram, Bills, and Browns.
All right. QB is Stafford, of course. Running backs are Kyron Williams and James Cook. 3 wide receivers are Kupp, Tyreek Hill, either Keenan if he plays, otherwise Ridley. Oh, man, we got flex somebody.
1 tight end.
Yeah, Evan Ingram's a tight end. I'm going Browns over Bills. Give me Browns against Trevor Siemian at home. Give me that all day on a short week where like the whole offense is just dump the ball off to Breece Hall. That's your offense. Throw it to the running back 14 times. That's your offense. Give me the Browns. It's a ridiculous.
Yeah, Browns probably should be the number 1 defense of all. So, yeah, agree with all that.
Well, we didn't need the flex.
Oh, we didn't do a flex?
Well, we got Kyron, James Cook, Kupp, Tyreek. I mean, I will say if Keenan Allen plays, I'll flex Ridley.
Right.
But if Keenan Allen doesn't play and you got to play Ridley, I mean, I might flex Ty Chandler. Honestly, I don't mind Ty Chandler this week. It's the Packers. They're terrible against the run.
Well, I might flex him over Gabe Davis, who, probably do nothing this week, or London, not liking London. So, yeah, I'll agree with that. With this group, I can flex Chandler. Yeah. If Keenan doesn't play.
Right. If Keenan plays, just flex Ridley.
Right. Adrian, start 1. CEH. Connor, ETN. And I'm guessing
it's CEL the first time, CEI the second time. It's like, how many times can you mistype CEH?
Yeah, the phone really doesn't want you to say CEH, but we get it. We get it. All right, so
I mean, Connor's probably your safest bet here. Probably just go Connor. He's safe. He's got decent upside. Just go Connor.
It's not CEH. It's definitely he's last of this group. What is his upside if Pacheco doesn't play, of course?
I mean, I think he can be okay, but yeah, not playing.
Yeah, maybe low end RB2, but I don't think he's going to carry teams to a championship. All right, next is Beersy. Got Goff and Stroud. If Stroud doesn't clear, would you go Carr or Goff?
I think I still got to go Goff over Carr. I don't know. I mean, Carr is such an unknown. Both these guys are kind of unknowns this week, but Carr, you never know when Carr is going to go out there and just completely wet the bed and just kill you.
He could. He definitely could. Like on paper, this is a great matchup because he gets Tampa Bay's pass defense. I'd feel better if it was at home. That's the thing. Yes. I do like Carr. I'd feel better if it was in the dome.
I think if it's me, I'm going Goff.
But it's not a home game for Goff either, and he's against the Cowboys. I think like it's risky.
I know.
I know. I would barely go Carr over Goff, but I honestly don't love either of these guys this week. So let's hope Stroud does clear.
Yeah, let's hope Stroud plays.
Shy Colin, have solid wide receivers. You sure do. I think that's a little bit more than solid. Need to play Stroud or Browning?
It's gotta be. We can't. Look, we were feeling pretty good about Jake Browning, but we saw the downside of Jake Browning last week. I mean, if Stroud plays, you got to play Stroud or Browning.
Yeah, let's definitely, for your sake, hope and pray that Stroud plays. If it's not Stroud, you can probably find, hopefully, a better streamer than Browning, but we'll see. All right, two of these guys, Mostert, Connor, Chandler, or Swift?
I think you go Mostert and Connor if you want to play it a little bit safer. Otherwise, you go Mostert and Swift if you want to swing for the fences.
Yeah, I'm definitely at this group, definitely not playing Chandler. I'm just rolling out Mostert. I would probably go Swift because, upside. Yes. All right. Ruben in the championship too. Awesome. Hawk is out. Ferguson or Pitts or Okonkwo.
Nah, just roll with Ferguson. Cowboys at home going against the Lions. He should be good this week. Just roll with Ferguson.
Yeah, this is a great spot for Ferguson. He hasn't been as good lately, but they're finally back home. And then Beast Mode Kane. Which of these tight ends do you like? Komet if he plays, Schultz, Waller, or Likely?
Komet would be my number one if he plays. Likely would probably be my number two.
I'm not playing Waller. You already know this. I would say Komet. Hopefully he does play. And then after that, if it's not, then yeah, this is going to be your decision. It's Schultz or Likely. I think probably Likely has more upside still. Love, Fields, Carr, or Mayfield?
Man, I think I still got to go Fields here, but I do really like Jordan Love this week against the Vikings. He's looked great. He proved me wrong last week. I did not like him last week on the road against Panthers, and he came through. I think Fields just has a bit more upside. I think I'm going Fields.
Yeah, the thing with Love is everybody's still hurt there. It's just not I don't know. It's not an ideal situation for him. I feel better if he had at least one guy that you knew you could count on. So Love is fine, but I think I got to go Fields over Love. And then Rams, Jets, Denver. Again, all good choices.
Yeah, all good choices. Rams probably the safest. I think the Jets have decent upside this week, though. So I don't know. I might go Jets. I think they're the better real life defense.
Yeah, it's either the Rams or the Jets. I would. I don't know. I wonder if Tyrod Taylor being the Giants quarterback makes the Giants offense less terrible. Not too much. Yeah, but he'll turn it over less, than like Tommy DeVito and take less sacks. Let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Jay Swole, my heroes, made it to the Fantasy Super Bowl. All right,
Nice.
let's see. Let's get it though. The celebration will be after next week. Will Chase and Pittman play?
Pittman, I feel like, should play. I mean, remember, he was supposed to play last week. He traveled with the team, and then it was like, oh, nope, he's got symptoms again. He's out. So hopefully another week he should be cleared. Chase will be the interesting one to see with the shoulder because, like, the reports I heard from the doctor I actually trust said they could just inject him, give him a pain-numbing injection, he should be fine, but they're just being careful with him. So maybe after losing last week, because, look, the Bengals are still fighting for a playoff spot. So maybe this week they're like, okay, let's get you out there. So I don't know. We'll see.
He was declared week to week. So it's been a week. There's no guarantee. I feel like with Chase, it's 50-50. Very up in the air here. Pittman, I would say you should feel pretty good is going to play. So he's a guy, if I have these players on my team, I would just put Pittman in my lineup and then, hope I don't have to take him out. Chase, I might wait. I might just, you might want to assume he isn't going to play, and then you get pleasantly surprised if he is play. But definitely make a plan B right now.
Yeah.
And then Tua or Fields.
I think I got to go Fields. I mean, again, it's not a great spot for Tua. Probably won't have Jalen Waddle. I'll just go Fields.
Yeah, I'm not going to like Fields as much as last week. I think I'm going to like him more than Tua because it's not a good matchup for Tua at all. But really hope for Fields' sake that at least DJ Moore or Kmet, one of those guys plays. Hopefully both. I really hope they both play. Adrian, again, if I go with Connor, would you start CEH or Etienne as a flex?
I'm actually upset that you spelled CEH right. I'm gonna go Etienne in the flex. He's got a good matchup this week. You got to think like Doug Peterson and the Jaguars with a banged up Trevor Lawrence because they're fighting for the playoffs too. They're at home against the Panthers. You got to think they should just say, look, let's just run it. Let's just run it. Let's just win an ugly game at home against the Panthers. Let's not get style points here. Will they? I don't know, but they should. So I'm gonna go Etienne.
Doesn't seem to be Peterson's style. He's like forgot about the running. Either that or Etienne is really still more hurt than we know. The ribs, he's been playing, but maybe he's just not right. But yeah, I'm going to Etienne over CEH. And I'm not going to put one of those guys instead.
No.
And then lastly, Lover Stafford.
Stafford. You got to feel good about Stafford this week against the Giants. Give me Stafford.
I feel great about Stafford. And then H3F. All right, in standard, Allen, CMC, Ayuk. Those are good. Needs a running back, 2 receivers, tight end, and either 2 receivers and a tight end or 3 receivers. Interesting. Got like a flex spot there. Henry, Edwards, Dobbs, London, Chase.
Well, at running back, I'm still going Henry. I mean, Henry and Gus are both guys that you need to score touchdowns.
Right.
But I feel better about Henry's chance to score, so I'm going to go Henry at running back still. Dobbs, London, Chase? Can drop Chase? Don't drop Chase. Don't drop Chase. 2 wide receivers and a tight end, but I don't even see a tight end. I guess likely. I guess you think likely on the waivers.
I don't see a tight end. I only see 3 receivers.
Yeah, but he's saying he could pick up Noah Brown, Demarcus Robinson, or Osborne. I mean, Dobbs, London, Chase. I mean, yeah, pick those guys up. Because honestly, I mean, if Chase plays, I'm playing Chase, but then I might play Noah Brown and Osborne over Dobbs and London, and I don't love Likely this week. I wouldn't play him over those wide receivers. So pick those guys up, and yeah, I might play Chase. Honestly, if Chase is out, I might play Noah Brown, DeMarcus Robinson, and Osborne over Dobbs, London, and Chase. I mean, Dobbs maybe if like all the wide receivers are out.
And then you're asking Chiefs or Jets at defense.
I think I'm still going the Jets. They're just a good real life defense, and Flacco will turn it over and he will take sacks still. So I'm going the Jets.
Yeah, go with the Jets. And then I would just drop the Chiefs. Obviously, you can drop them if you're not playing them. Yeah, don't like London. Don't like London this week.
No.
So let's hope Chase plays. You can play Chase. I guess the guy you're sitting here is Edwards. All right, and then we got, let's say, Tidy Boy.
Okay.
He's using this as a resource all season. Very nice. All right, Colts, Raiders, Bears, or Falcons for emphasize all the marbles.
Yes. Well, I'll say what I keep saying. Like, I think the Bears are your safe play. They're at home. They're against Taylor Heineke. They should be fine. Raiders have the tremendous week winning ceiling because that's just what they've been doing 2 weeks in a row. I mean, even last week against the Chiefs, you think, Chiefs, you can't start them, and they went out there and had like 28 fantasy points or something crazy. So I'm probably just gambling on the Raiders. See if the hot streak goes. But if you want to play it safer, go the Bears.
Raiders have been good. It's hard to say no to the Raiders now. You think about it, that defense. Pierce has got them rolling, going against the Colts. Colts are interesting because they're going against the Raiders, but no, I'd rather have the Raiders than them. The Bears defense has been still pretty good, although their turnover, the barrage of turnovers they've been getting kind of halted last week. So, yeah, go Raiders, and then ride it out with Fields.
Yeah, why not? I think he's I don't think he's a terrible option this week. There's certainly worse guys you can start.
Yeah, well, that's the question is if you don't ride it out with Fields, then who else would you go with?
Yeah.
Like, would you go Joe Flacco over Fields? Probably not.
No. Probably whoever you're about to say, the answer would probably be
no. Yeah, exactly. Because, like, okay, if you don't have Field, you're going to roll out somebody on waiver wire, and probably it's just no. So, Bryce Young? No. Okay.
No.
Robert Perky, he says 25 teams.
Wow. You made the championship at 75% of your leagues. Well done.
Wow.
Well done.
I'm just impressed that you actually have 25 teams. I thought I was overextended and I have like 15, but
yeah, hey. I don't know how you do it with 25 teams. I mean, that's like a full-time job, honestly. Well done.
Yeah.
Especially you made the title game in 75% of your leagues. That means you were like very invested in every league and really staying on top of it. That is a lot of work. Well done. Well done.
All right. And yeah, that's a good point. You're saying it's easy to play the wrong guys. I think that's just as important. It's overlooked. Like, pick the guy who's going to have the big week. Pick the guy who you think is going to. Sometimes the more important is just to avoid that dud. The guy that you just assume, oh, I have to play this guy. You really don't. Actually, this is a good follow up here. You don't go playing it safe. Guess what? Guess what playing it safe gets you? A safe loss. I don't know.
A close loss.
Good. Safely lost. Let's see. The Truth 21. Monty, Singletary, or Chandler?
Got to go Monty here. I feel like he's a tier above these guys. I know Gibbs has been phenomenal, and Monty has been just kind of good lately, but it was weird in that game. Monty like left for a while, and they didn't really say anything, and then he came back at the end again. It was kind of weird, but I think Monty will be fine. Singletary, tough matchup. Chandler, yeah, give me Monty. Give me Monty.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup for Singletary against that Titans run defense. The offense should be better if Stroud is back, but still, I'm just going to go Monty. You don't need to risk those other two. And Adrian with another, forgot to mention, have Zeke. Okay, so assuming Rondé doesn't play, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, holding, so my opponent will pick him up. Do you really have to hold Christian Watson, though?
No, I don't think you have to hold Christian Watson. I would hold Jaden Reed, and I would hold Zeke, but I don't think you have to hold Christian Watson.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, and then we have a user we'll just call Tua. Full PPR, Waller or Conquo?
Just go with Okonkwo. Just go with Okonkwo. What did he? Darren Waller doesn't even look good, like real life good. Let's go with Okonkwo.
Yeah. I don't care who the quarterback is or how healthy he is. I'm not playing Waller. And then Denver or Browns defense here. It's got to be the Browns.
It's got to be the Browns. Like, I know the kind of like chalky, no doubt defenses kind of let down last week, but I mean the Browns against Trevor Siemian and the Jets on the short week. Like, what are we? Like, even the Commanders. How many points did the Commanders defense score last week?
Defense?
The Commanders defense got 3 points last week against the Jets, and look at how bad the Commanders defense was and how good the Jets. I mean, the Browns can do significantly better than that. I'm not worried about the Browns this week. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to be the number one defense this week. And then we got a comment here, Western Goods, saying that there was a super chat. I went back and I didn't see one. I don't know if you see one, Chris, but I don't see one.
The Western Goods?
Western Goods.
I'll take a look.
All right. And by the way, guys, we'll hang on for a few more minutes. We're getting to about that time, but we'll do some more chats. You don't have to super chat to get your question answered, but of course we always do the super chats first and try to make sure we get to all of them. I think we're almost caught up on all of them, so we'll do some more others.
Yeah, I don't see a super chat from him, but if you want to put his comment up, put his comment.
Yeah, well, go ahead and you can put your question up because I think we're caught up here anyways. So yeah, Western Goods, if you see that. What about this? Kyler Murray or Tua?
I think I'll just go Tua here. I'm not feeling a big Kyler week, so I'll just gamble on Tua.
Yeah, Kyler's just been okay. He's just been okay, and he doesn't have many weapons to throw to. He hasn't been running enough to make me really excited about him in fantasy.
Right.
At the Eagles is not. It could go south for him, you know. So, look, you got the namesake. Just go Tua.
Exactly. How do you not start Tua with that?
Okay, there you go. Gotcha. All right, let's do a couple more before we get off here. Remember, guys, we'll be back on tomorrow, as we do. Answer some more of your questions. You got any pressing waiver wire questions, let us know now. Otherwise, we'll pick and choose here. Nico, Amari, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman. Who do I start?
I think you start Pittman if he plays. Otherwise, Nico.
Yeah, don't know if you're just asking for one or two or how many, but Pittman is a must start still, right? If Pittman plays, you just play him.
Yes.
The guy I like next is Nico. So believe it or not, you might be sitting Cooper, but that's how it is. Let's see. There's another tough one. Matt B. Tua or Stafford?
Nah, I'll definitely go Stafford here. In fact, I have this choice. Granted, it's for third place, but hey, third place gets your money back in the league. But I'm going Stafford. I feel much better about him against the Giants than I do Tua against the Ravens. Give me Stafford.
Yeah, I'm too. I'm going Stafford. And then what about Eric here? Mahomes or Carr?
Mahomes. I'm still going Mahomes. I've been burned enough times by Derek Carr to know. You think, you're like, Derek Carr, what a great matchup. And look what he's been doing. Look how good he's been in the last couple of games. And then you put him out there and he gets like 4 fantasy points.
He does feel like one of those players who only does well when nobody's noticing, right? When you're off of him.
He's
every
like
once in
the
a while,
Taysom Hill of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The rule of Derek Carr is he'll only go off when you don't start him. He's like the Gabe Davis. Have you seen the graph? I think Nate posted, or somebody, maybe it was Gamble today, posted in the Discord. Literally, they showed like by week how many people started Gabe Davis, and like the 4 games where he's actually been good this year were like the 4 weeks where he was started the least amount. Like it's like once nobody is starting them anymore, then he goes off, and then what happens? Everybody's like, well, you got to start Gabe Davis now. And then they start him the next week and he does nothing. It's like, it's been like, that's like Derek Carr. It's like how Derek Carr.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with Derek Carr, but it's hard out there for a QB streamer.
It is.
All right, here we go, Western
week.
Good. Let's see. Made it to the finals, full PPR. Connor, Saquon, Monty, Cook. The rest of my team is Lamar, Lamb, Nico, McBride, Browns, Dayton, Tucker. That's pretty good. Also have Jason and Keenan. 1K on the line. All right,
Nice.
let's get
Good
it.
luck. Good luck.
Which running backs do we like here? He's got 4 listed. Guess we'll pick 2.
Maybe Saquon and Connor. Be my top 2. I might rank him Saquon, Connor, Cook, and Monty. Might be my ranking.
Yeah, I think Saquon tops the list here. Yeah, Connor's been good. So there you go, Saquon and Connor. If that's what you need. What about Keenan? He's got Keenan, but I don't want to sit Lamb. Of course not Lamb. I think I would still go Nico over Keenan this week.
Yeah, I'd probably go Nico too. He's got hopefully CJ Stroud. I mean, if it's Case Keenum, then maybe I go Keenan. But if it's CJ Stroud against the Titans, I'll go Nico.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, goods. Good luck. Cali Kid needs 1. Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Noah Brown, Lockett, Sutton, or D-Rob.
I feel like we had this one already. I'm going to rank them, assuming they all play. Keenan Allen, Sutton, Lockett. So if Keenan Allen plays, he's my number 1. If he doesn't play, Sutton would be my number 2. If he doesn't play, then I'll go Lockett, number 3. Lockett, I'm pretty sure is playing, so I think I can stop that.
Yeah, let's hope Keenan. Yeah, I don't know if it's the exact same question. I know Cali Kid commented before, so yeah, Lockett would probably be your next pick. And then Goodsy clarified he needs 3 backs. Needs 3. So Saquon, Connor, and then who's third?
All right, well, I think I'm still going to put James Cook over Monty. I mean, it's close, but Monty does have Gibbs to contend with. James Cook doesn't. I mean, he's got Josh Allen to contend with, I guess. But I'm going to go Connor, Saquon, and Cook.
I think that's fine. Yeah, Monty's okay. Look, none of these are bad choices here, but still give the edge to Cook a little bit over Monty. All right, and then one more. Let's do. Oh, it's brutal. Rodney, I hate to see it.
Yeah, we had a guy message me. Big dog pound. He lost because of that last Lamar Jackson kneel
down. Can't they make a thing where kneels down like don't count?
They should. Like kneel down shouldn't count. Like but it counts. The thing is, it counts as like a rushing yard. So he loses.
Right, I understand.
He loses a rushing yard
because they're going backwards like 1 or 2 yards. But
yeah,
this is this is what fantasy football can be sometimes. But hey, what can you do?
Good news is
the best lineup. That's it.
The good news is next year will be here before you know it. We'll do it all over again.
That's right. Yes, it will. All right, one more waiver wire question here before we get out of here for tonight. And don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow. FAMS 21 waiver wire pickup order. Carr, Flacco, Mullins, Russ, and asking to go over Lawrence.
Yeah, give me. Russ is interesting this week. I actually like Russ at home against the Chargers. Does he have the upside of like a Flacco? I don't know. I might go Russ.
Yeah, Russ just never gets me excited either. He needs to run in a touchdown. Right? Is he going to run in a touchdown here? I might just go Flacco. Let's go Flacco. But Russ would be the next choice. It's definitely not Mullins. And yeah, I think Carr, I would still put behind those guys. And then would you put Lawrence over these guys? Or I wouldn't even trust Lawrence.
It's not even a good matchup for Lawrence. I mean, the Panthers, like I know Jordan Love just had a nice game against them, but Panthers generally play so slow. Trevor Lawrence hasn't even been good. I'm not playing Trevor Lawrence.
No. I guess Russ is a safer pick. You want to go for the safe pick here. It's Russ. If you want to shoot for the moon, it's Flacco. All right, and let's end on this black bag in the championship. We're that's what we're aiming for, guys. Is
Yep.
our own leagues are whatever, kind of an afterthought at this point. We're not in it to win our own championships and our own leagues. We've been there, we've done that. We're still trying to do it, but what we're here for is you guys. We want to help you win, help you guys cross that bridge from being a fantasy football player to being a champion. That's what it's all about. Trying to get you that next level. So there you go. Good luck to everyone. But again, stay with us tomorrow. We'll be back for more. We'll be back again the next day and the next day. We're going to go live all week like we've been doing all season and do another underdog draft hopefully later in the week. If you haven't joined yet, guys, check it out because you can do these pick'ems and you get a free one. If you haven't joined Underdog yet, you get this free pick. It's Dak Prescott going higher than 0.5 total yards. So get advantage of that right now. Just sign up. Make sure you use promo code Endgame when you do sign up because you also get a deposit match. And hey, you can join us, draft with us, compete against us in these weekly drafts. And you can even get together with a lot of our Endgame community. We have guys who are on there all the time. And you get also in the Discord, you get some valuable advice from some of our experts, guys who have a really good track record, even better than us at this stuff. So it's just a great community to be a part of. Appreciate everybody who's been with us all season long. And even if you just joined, well, it's a good time. It's never too late because as soon as this season ends, guess what? We're going to start getting you ready for next year so you can win next season. All right. So we'll see you all hopefully again tomorrow. Don't forget to check out all the videos as well. Start sit for every position to help you win this week.